Pacific Zone, 19 hours, 59 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
Broadcasting from Okeechobee, Florida, USA. For more information, email us at info@panambc.com. Again, that's info@panambc.com. We would love to hear from you. God bless.
Praise the Lord. Welcome back to another Prayer of the Word broadcast, and we're so glad you tuned in today. We know the Lord has a special word for you, and it's going to lift you up, edify you, and strengthen you through the Word of God. Your faith will grow. Hallelujah. When you hear the Word of God being preached, and we just thank God for another opportunity to lift up our voice and preach Jesus Christ.
Hey everyone. Welcome to this live show. This is our show for tuning the shortwave bands, and of course, this is every 2 weeks on Fridays. And today we will tune around shortwave. Hopefully, propagation will be not too bad. I want to say hello to everybody on board. Hello to ME1900. Hello PLF, nice to have you on board. Stephen Cooper with a cold temperature in the UK. Here we have a snowy day here in Montreal. So this week was pretty much snowy all week. We even had our first 4 inches on the ground, which is about 10 centimeters on Monday or Tuesday. And of course we are back. Here snow is like a normal event. It's like, nothing's happening. And even though some places in the world just having 2-3 inches, everything is stopped. Here it's like everything continues as usual. So hello everybody here. Hello on the YouTube chat. Hello, Michael Bott, by the way, on the other chat also. On the YouTube chat, Richard Cook, nice to have you on board. Saying the K index is at 4 now. Let's hope it gets even better. Xenon194, nice to have you here. Vensterbank from the Netherlands, nice to have you on board. MDK2, hello there. Neil Toombs, nice to have you on board. And he says that half an inch of snow brings this place to a grinding halt. Here we have, major snowstorms in the winter, like that. There's a foot of snow here sometimes, and even more. And a foot of snow, which is about 12 inches, which is like, close to 30 centimeters of snow on the ground, just doesn't do much here. It's like we all continue our lives like nothing happened. So, hello there to Richard Cook, to Carol. Nice to have you on board, Carol T. Jay Garrett from Mississippi. Nice to have you here. Nick Amendot from Romania. Ray Kelly in Nova Scotia, Canada. Jay Watterson 69. Hello there. And it's really nice to have everybody here as we take a look and listen to the shortwave bands. So hopefully everybody finds it really cool, and we'll do our best to, let's hope, pick up some interesting signals. For the K index of 4, it's I'm not sure what we're going to have, but let's hope it's better. Hello there, Jerry. Nice to have you on board. And eating some Tire Sainte-Catherine. It's I don't know if that's everywhere where that is a holiday exactly, but on the 25th of November, I mean nobody here really does much with that today. But when I was young, my mom would make candy on the 25th of November because it's St. Catherine's Day, which is, I don't know, it's an old tradition because I see less and less people really care about that today. But every 25th I do think about it because it's something that, as I was young, my mom would make some. And I would, it was kind of the fun thing when I was young. And I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know where it is exactly. I never really understood that tradition much, except probably either Canadian. I don't know if it's more than just Canada or North America, but anyways. Hello there, Chuck SD in San Diego. Nice to have you on board and have everybody here. What else do we have here? PA0020 SWL, hello there. Nice to have you on board. TOT, nice to have you here. We're not really late. We're starting off slowly. Richard Cook says 11 on 6304 USB. Let's try it out. 6304 upper sideband. Nothing here. Nothing here. It's a little early for that low frequency, even though I can tell you that there's a lot of propagation, interesting propagation. We're getting into the winter time of propagation pretty much. December and January is winter propagation. And so it has very interesting effects. I've been hearing, thanks to somebody on the Facebook Shortwave group, I received the Voice of Turkey in mid-afternoon on 11 megahertz. I think it was Wednesday, or even yesterday maybe. Was very surprised at that. Vanua de Otto, good morning. Hello there. It's a late afternoon here in Montreal. Nice to have you on board. What else do we have? It's nice to see everybody here. Yeah, Carol, I did fix my coax. Water infiltrated the connector of the coax, and that's what happened. So basically, I got that fixed, so it's quite all right. And whoops, sorry. Hope everything's all right. Still working. I got DX the cat that just made the microphone fall down. So okay. So yeah, I unplugged everything. I removed the moisture. I removed everything. I cut about 2 inches of the coax to make sure that there's no water inside it when I plugged it back, and I temporarily put some hot glue over it for better moisture problems. But I think it was also partly, I noticed that it was kind of hooked wrong. So when I screwed the connector, it didn't seem to be screwed correctly. So maybe that's why water got inside. It shouldn't usually. But yep, got it fixed and should be okay for winter, I hope. Because playing around with outdoor antennas at minus 20 degrees is not that fun. QRP radio listener, hello there from Ponza Island, Italy. Nice to have you on board. What else do we have here? Hello everybody. I hope I'm not missing out. Okay, Ricardo Schwartz, Panama, HP1RIS 73. Hello, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Yeah, 15555 has been pretty good. Usually in the winter time it's better. Let's try it out here just for fun. Yep, with some music right now. So in 15555 WJHR in Milton, Florida. Yep, coming pretty well here too. So nice to have everybody here. Jeff, KD5QDO, nice to have you here as usual. And what else do we have here? What else do we have here? Jerry says, St. Catherine, she was a lady that gave taffy candy to Indian kids to go to school and learn about religion in the 1600s. Thanks for the little lesson in... thanks for the little lesson here. I did not know. I'm not much of a religious guy, so, every religious story, I'm not that, For me, that looks so wrong, giving taffy to Indian kids so that they can screw their heads with Jesus. I don't know, that looks wrong to me, but, that were the times. But thanks for giving me that little... I will now know what St. Catherine is all about. And so that means it's pretty much a Quebec thing, from what I know. Because if you're saying that it's in Quebec, I mean, probably nobody else does it around the world. So my mom would make, it was so funny because my mom would make, that taffy candy type. And usually it's supposed to be a little moist, it's not supposed to be hard candy. But probably once every 3 St. Catherine's Day, she would have it cooked too long and it would become really hard candy instead. That's what I remember. And then she made, that sponge-like taffy. It's like a sponge candy, basically. She decided instead of doing that taffy-like candy that was kind of hard to do, she decided to do the sponge one, which was interesting. So, that's interesting. So it's really something here. It's something I miss from my childhood. Having that little fiesta. Having that taffy candy that my mom would make. That was a little. That's something I miss. I should maybe celebrate it or somehow. I should have gone and bought some taffy candy at the store. Hello, Jim, from very cold Scotland. Nice to have you on board also. Here it's a snowy day in Montreal. They were announcing rain and like +5 degrees, but temperature stayed around 0-1 all day. And instead of rain, we're having snow. SWL Iran from Tehran. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. And what happened, ME 1900? Nothing much. Just saying hi to everybody for the time being. And we'll be, of course, going to the listening part. Hello, DX Plates from Belgium. Nice to have you on board. Yeah, but in 1600, I don't think that Snickers bars and Kit Kat were invented yet. So I think taffy was pretty much what, they would do. So, it seems that today, the November 25th, is that kind of little fiesta. But, I don't, except for older people like me, I don't think anybody knows much about this anymore. I remember in the stores, they would have what's called Tire Sainte Catherine, which is taffy Sainte Catherine, if you want. They had these bags in the stores for this occasion, but I don't see much of that anymore. I guess nobody's doing this anymore for sure. So, kind of interesting. The Racing Signal, hello there. Nice to have you here, and it's nice to have everybody joining in. And, you're 1900 on IRC. Okay, thanks for... by the way, if you people are using both IRC and the YouTube chat and have different names, it's kind of nice to let me know that you are the same person on another place sometimes. So, I don't think there are Kit Kats or Snickers bar in the 1600s. Can tell you that. Okay, so let's start tuning around. I was listening, talking about propagation, by the way. I was looking at the different signals today, and we're getting into winter propagation. I've noticed that the maximum usable frequency in the midday is pretty high because I was hearing some European signals on 27555, which is the out-of-band calling frequency, and it was coming in quite well. There are many stations from Europe, a few from France, one from the UK. So the maximum usable frequency seems to be pretty high in the daytime, but boy, does it drop fast once the sun is set. And you know, with our solar flux that is low and the days that are very short, our evenings will be in the low frequency ranges, I can tell you that. And for those that wonder what I'm drinking today, I have wine once again. Had half of a bottle that was left, so I decided to take that half of a bottle, and I think it's going to be enough. And on the last time that we did the 5-hour show, I drank a full bottle, and boy, after 5 hours, I was kind of drunk, can tell you that. A full bottle does make me pretty much so okay. 14235 upper sideband. Let's check it out. 14235 USB. There's something there. I hear a signal there, but it's not very strong. But you're listening to 14235 upper sideband. So yes, that 5-hour show was quite interesting, and it was just, you know, we went with the flow, and it just passed so fast. You know, 5 hours is like, wow, it was gone. It's just incredible how these shows really fly. So no, this is the same mic I always had. It's just that I place it differently. It's like when I'm talking, I decided now to place a microphone next to me when I talk to reduce the echo, and also put it next to the radio when I want to have you guys listen in on what's on the radio. It's a wireless microphone from Movo. It's what I have and I've been using for a while now. So pretty cool. So any Black Friday shopping, a new R8600? No, unfortunately, that would have been way too nice. Yes, everybody, the R8600 is 50% off today. I can see everybody racing to the internet to buy one. So I'm not a big fan of Black Friday shopping, especially not a big fan of going to the stores and there's just so many people that it drives me crazy. A little bit like Christmas shopping. I hate it. I hate it when there's too many people in the store. You know, it's like I feel like just, you know what? Can you give me an hour that I'm going to be alone in the store before everybody comes in, please? I hate it. And I would probably buy online much more than going to a store if I had anything to do. Well, you know what? I don't think there's really that many good deals on Black Friday. Personally, you know, it's something that, you know, I think people are getting, you know, screwed more than anything else. And I can bet you that probably 80% of the people that went to see a Black Friday deal came home with something that was not even on sale because they went out to the store, they saw something, and they just bought it. And I would bet that 80 to 90% of the people just bought something that was not even on sale just because they went out to the store. So, yeah, like TOT, it's things that don't sell or old or, you know, like I was saying, a friend of mine was telling me, hey, look at the Black Friday deal, a 40-inch TV for $299. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, well, it's not worth that much more. It's some kind of weird brand that I've never heard before. That's why it's $299. It's not a deal. It's probably the regular price for that 40-inch TV of that bizarre brand. That's it. And I'm pretty sure that if you look at the same brand TV for 40-inch in a month, you'll still see it at $299 because it's a weird brand. You know, you're not getting a Sony TV. You know, you're not getting a 50-inch Sony TV for $299. You're not getting deals like that. You're getting something that is a weird brand or is kind of weird or something like that. So, you know, there's little things. What they do usually, it's a little bit like Carol T is saying. You know what they do? Carol T says, at Walmart, there was 32 gigabyte flash drives for $5. So what you do is you see that and you're like, hey, I want to have a $5 flash drive. And then you get out of Walmart, you probably bought for $400 of all sorts of things, and you have a $5 USB thumb drive that lured you into the Walmart to buy a gazillion other things that you didn't need really, or that you just looked at and it's like, oh, I want this. And that's pretty much how they work. I can tell you that. Yeah, you know, it's Carol T, 50% off from what? 14,000. Yeah, that's a good deal. Oh man, but you know, it's pretty much what that happens, you know. They just, you know, do one little deal. Often stores will have one item that really, yeah, it's okay for it's a really an okay price. But the thing is, two problems arise. You go there for that, and you're out of there with other things also. And the second thing is, you go there for that, and there's no more of that because they had only a limited number of those, you know, things like that. Charlie Brown. That makes me think, MDK2, that I was watching I haven't watched Charlie Brown in so long, and the other day there was they already were playing Charlie Brown Christmas on a channel on TV, and I probably watched that the last time when I was, I don't know, 14 years old, and funny. It's just, you know, it's just funny. So, what else do we have here? N48DK. Hello, welcome. Could I explain why frequencies like 40 meters are better in the winter? You know, propagation is a very, very complex thing. And one of the things that happens is that when you have a winter time, the angle of the sun on the ionosphere is different. The days are shorter also. So what happens is lower frequencies tend to often propagate better because of that, especially at specific times. So in the afternoon, for example, because of the low sun angle, the ionosphere isn't ionized as strongly as in the summertime. So there's less absorption. So 40 meter signals like 7 megahertz will often propagate well in the afternoon because of that. Where in the summertime they would be absorbed and they would really be only local. So a lot of frequencies, even the 80 meter band also has that phenomenon where, you know, lower frequencies are enhanced somewhat, especially around the gray line area. Even high frequencies are also better in the winter time from north to south. So it's worth checking out, you know, like 20 meters, 15 meters also, even 10 meters. But there's also the fact that there's less absorption in the lower frequencies, but also the fact that there's no crashing from thunderstorms like in the summertime. So often the bands are a little more quiet also. That means weaker signals will tend to propagate there a little better because in the summertime they might be washed out in the thunderstorm crashes that you hear all the time. So it's, you know, it's a complex thing, but many frequencies are much better in the wintertime. The only thing is when the solar flux is lower, like now, in the night, when the sun sets, the maximum usable frequency tends to go quite low. And an example to that is Radio Romania, that's on 5960 and 7325 at 0100 or 0100 UT. And 5960 is propagating real well to North America, but 7325 has been a hard one to listen to. So, you know, it all depends, but in the wintertime, 40 meters has enhanced propagation, mostly because lower absorption in the daytime due to the angle of the sun, and lower crashes or noise levels because of, you know, no thunderstorm crashes, basically. So, you know, that kind of helps in the 40 meter band. So, what else do we have here? Oh, nice to see that overload killer Amy 1900. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, you know what? Charlie Brown, I feel Charlie Brown are bad cartoons for kids because, I don't know, Charlie Brown is a loser. And I don't think that having a loser that everybody's laughing at is a good idea in a cartoon. That's pretty much a lot what I thought of when I was watching it. But yep, wintertime does have increased propagation in conditions on some of the lower bands, and mostly due to absorption. You know, in the summertime, midday, the absorption is very, very high. And unless you're in a high frequency, the lower bands are pretty much dead in the month of June or July, where in the wintertime, you'll hear a lot of signals in the lower bands, even in midday. There's, you know, part of the propagation in the wintertime is interesting for that. Of course, summer brings other types of propagation. For example, in the summertime, what's cool is the 20 meter band is almost open almost 24 hours. Because of the higher ionization of the ionosphere, but also because, for example, the North Pole, is washed in sunlight 24 hours. So signals from Europe might actually cross over the North Pole up to North America. So, you know, summer has its good propagation side on some frequency ranges. You know, summer gives me Radio Australia on 17840, gives me Radio New Zealand on 15720. Way past sunset time, something that I don't hear really much in the winter time. So each season has its good points and bad points. So you have to take advantage of that when you're actually listening, and that helps a lot in propagation. Oxford Shortwave Long, nice to have you on board. So, pretty cool. What else do we have here? Neil Toombs, nice to have you here. What else do we have? So let's check it out. Hey, Thomas Brogan, nice to have you here from Scotland. Always cool to have everybody on board, by the way. So let's continue tuning, and we'll check out the different signals that we hear on the shortwave bands. And yeah, like Jerry says, Charlie Brown promotes bullying. That was fine 50 years ago. Bullying was an everyday thing. People love to be bullied and watch Charlie Brown low. Yeah, I don't know. You know, that was... that's kind of sad. So I'm going to go back to Radio Africa from Okeechobee, Florida, which is almost gone now. It's totally dropped to zero. And we're going to tune downwards slowly and see what we can hear. So if we hear signals that are interesting, I'll put the microphone next to the speaker there. So interesting propagation this week. I've had a few days of listening and enjoyed some... Channel Africa came in really well on 15,235 in the afternoon, and yesterday and today. So that was kind of nice. It's cool to hear a signal clear enough to be able to follow the program. It's usually washed up in the noise here. The only time that I get Channel Africa really well is when I go to the D expeditions. Hello there, Vaults. Hello there, Mute Zone. Nice to have everyone here. Mad Radio DXer. Kelly Taylor. Yep, there's a sunspot, a big sunspot that appeared this week. We had a few days of 0 sunspots. And I got to say that, the sunspots are going to be more and more of a rare occurrence in the coming months and years as we're going down the drain with solar cycle 24. So we're not gonna have that great propagation on the higher frequencies. And so let's check out what we can hear. Pretty quiet on the higher frequency ranges here, I can tell you that. Not a lot of signals yet. Even Radio Africa, I don't know if something happened on the sun, but Radio Africa was there about half an hour ago and that's totally disappeared. "17-meter band of amateur radio is pretty dead." Sorry, guys. 16-meter band is dead. Pretty amazing to see that the high frequencies are really, really TOT, yes, there's a major difference because the problem with this radio, like a lot of tabletops, is that the speaker is on the top of the radio. So already that causes a problem because when the speaker's on the top, it's pretty much sending the audio upwards. So it already doesn't sound right. And I got to say that speaker has a gazillion times better sound than the speaker from this receiver. And I mean, I've had this on my Kenwood R5000 and I kept it for my 8500 because it's a must. It's really a must. It's such a difference that it's amazing. And I bought this a long time ago. I bought this at Radio Shack in the late 80s. And it still works fine. So I'm keeping it because it works really fine and has great sound. And it has a nice frequency response also. That is kind of perfect for shortwave. I've tried different speakers. I've tried computer PC speakers, amplified speakers, all sorts of speakers. And I always came back to this speaker that I always thought sounded better for my shortwave listening than anything else that I was using. So it's a really nice speaker here. There are probably some speakers that you can get some for the radio listening, but you should check. I'm pretty sure they must have pairs of equivalent speaker. The only thing you need to be careful is if you are plugged in directly to the radio, the impedance. So if you're you need to know that if your radio is 8 ohms or 4 ohms, make sure you have the right speaker. And also don't take a speaker that don't take a 100 watt speaker because the radio won't be able to drive it. You take a low wattage speaker. So this is, I don't know, I think it's 5 watts or something maximum. So this works well. In my case, it's cool because my amplifier, the DSP here, has an 8 watt amplifier in it. So basically the DSP can drive this speaker really well, but even without the DSP, this speaker drives well from within the radio in the speaker out on the back. But be careful just to choose the correct impedance, because if you don't match 4 or 8 ohms correctly, you can actually burn out the speaker output of your radio because you're going to drive it too much and it might burn out. So just be careful with that. But apart from that, you know, you can probably get some of these speakers. I'd go on eBay. I'm sure on eBay you got tons of speakers of all sorts like this that might be not too expensive and you know, have a great sound with your radio. Hello there, Bullfrog89. Nice to have you here, and I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, it is kind of it's metal graining on the front, and it's a wood finish. It's imitation of maple or something, but it's a wood finish, and it's quite heavy for what it is. What you could also check for, by the way, and I've done that and it works well. If you have an old boombox that doesn't work anymore, sometimes some of these boomboxes have detachable speakers on them. You take one of the detachable speakers and transform it into a radio speaker. That also works. I had an old Sony boombox here, and the 2 black speakers on each side, I could remove them from the radio. And I remember keeping them. I probably still have them somewhere in a box because when I tried them, they actually sounded quite good on the radio also. And I thought, well, if this speaker goes out, I could use one of those instead. Uh, 7197, let's check it out. 7197, lower sideband. Check out if we can hear the EA3GE station. We heard that last time. Echo Alpha 3, Japan Echo was on last time we did our show. And I'm trying to see, but 7197. Not hearing anything right now. So, oh.
Okay, follow 59 report. Receiving here in the first Tango 1000D and the 4 elements mono and unity. Now 73 and thank you for a good DX contact here and 40 meters. 73 and the next weekend. USA.
Yep, working. I'm hearing Echo Alpha 3, Japan Echo. We heard that station last time in the live show also. Hello there, David Harden. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you here. So we're here regularly. We have regular broadcasts, lives, webcasts of shortwave listening and all sorts of stations. So pretty nice to have you here. And he says he's been a shortwave listener for 40 years. Had the pirate stations on last night. Yep. And I'm pretty sure tonight there are going to be some other ones for Black Friday. It's probably a big pirate weekend also this weekend. So 7197 lower sideband is Echo Alpha 3, Japan Echo AM station out of Spain, near Barcelona, Spain.
very good afternoon, and thank you again for your call. You're 5-9. Your signal report is 9 here in Boston.
So Jerry says Solar Flux 80 K4 geomagnetic active. Active is not too bad. It's better than Storm. Jerry says dumb spot to put speaker on the top. Yep, that is true. I never understood. I understand. They don't want to make the case bigger because it costs too much money, so they just put the speaker on top. But you know what? They should invest a little more and have the speaker on the side. It already would be better. But even though it's there, I've listened to that speaker. It ain't that great a speaker that's with the radio itself. It's almost like they want you to buy that extra speaker like you have Jerry. Jerry's got the ICOM speaker. When you get it on sale, it might be a good idea, but man, when that ICOM speaker is at the regular price, really too expensive for what it is, though. You really need to get it on sale. Jerry says 7197 lower sideband is good. ME 1900 is not hearing anything. So, did I ask Santa for a discount antenna? I didn't ask Santa much. Well, who knows what Santa could bring, and we never know. But for now, I don't think Santa is going to bring much radio stuff this year. David, every Friday there's a webcast. This Friday is the tuning the shortwave bands. Next Friday is the VHF, UHF scanner radio one. We also have one every 2 weeks on Saturdays. They're always at the same time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2000 hours Universal Time through this channel. And on the Saturday one, which is every 2 weeks, so tomorrow, Saturday, there's no show. But next week, December the 3rd, I believe, is going to be our shortwave show where we talk about a shortwave radio subject, answer questions. So, but every Friday we're here, and Saturdays every 2 weeks, and we have a lot of fun tuning around and talking about radio and just having some fun for sure. So David says he uses headphones almost exclusively. For really good DXing, I gotta say a good pair of headphones is very good. And when I was young, I had headphones all the time because my radio was in the living room, and since everybody wanted to watch TV, I had no choice but to put on headphones to listen to stations. And I gotta say that headphones are also something that is very, very useful, especially when it's a very noisy environment, because you can kind of discern even more the stations and the noise. Hey Charlie Loud and Boomer, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Neil Tum says the ICOM 8600 has an additional speaker. He thinks with the PSU, the power supply unit built in. That's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see all the things there. Jeff KD5 QDO says his little RCA speaker, catalog number 405024. You could get them at Radio Shack back in the day. So really nice. Really nice. Yeah, going to the coast, going closer to the coast would surely bring you a lot of DX out there in Brazil. I'm pretty sure. So really, really nice. So David is in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and he lived in the UK in the 70s. Cool. And you heard me on 5150, Charlie? Really? Somebody is broadcasting my show on 5150. You joking or what? Let me check it out here. Yeah, there's somebody on 5150. And apparently, 5150 is rebroadcasting my show. So that's kind of interesting. The 5150, I've heard 5150 several times in the past 2 weeks.
5150.
Yep. I'm on 5150. I'm being rebroadcast on 5150 kilohertz relay right now. So hello to all radio listeners through the relay, shortwave relay pirate on 5150 kilohertz. About in S, it has deep fades, but comes up to S8.
5150, I'm being rebroadcast on 51.
Oh, that's pretty good. The signal is actually quite good. S7, S8, clear enough to have a good audio. So I am once again on 5150 kilohertz. Hello there, Rick Robbins. Nice to have you on board. Gordon Foster from Northeast England. Pretty cool. And nice to have you. Neil Toom says it's from the 8600 brochure, optional SP3980 external speaker with integrated power supply. That's interesting. I'm going to check that out. You know, I mean, I have radio envy with that ICOM ICR 8600. It's been a long time since I haven't had something that I wanted so bad. But you know what? That ICOM receiver, the 8600, I want to have it. And I have no idea how I'm going to get the money to get one. But hey, I'm going to tell you one thing. I want to have that. Carol T says, I wonder if that really is one of us. Yeah, you know, sometimes that is a question that comes through my mind also. Could 5150 kilohertz be somebody in the chat room, or who knows? Who knows? That mystery of radio, of pirate radio. Theo, the 5150 says he's S3 in Toronto. So let's triangulate. Yeah. And I think he's in the Northeast somewhere, because he's pretty strong here, and usually he's stronger in the East than the West. So he's a Northeast pirate somewhere. And he's packing a good signal right now on 5150. So I guess in the Northeast, a lot of stations are going to, a lot of people are going to be listening to it for sure. And Mike Bott says it's on his list. So yeah, the ICOM 8600, man, I'd love that. And pretty good. Apart from that, what do we have here? PLF says, Joel, what type of station is 5150 which rebroadcasts your show? It's a pirate station, basically. There's been something called the kind of the shortwave relay or something like that on 5150 kilohertz. And he's usually packing a good signal, and he's been broadcasting really long schedules. I've heard him broadcast almost all day sometimes. I think it's last week. I don't remember which day. I saw that people were listening to a 5150 kilohertz at 1400 UT. And when I actually tuned in, it was, I think, 1900 or 2000 UT, and he was still there. So I don't know if he took a break in between, but it seems that sometimes he turns up for many hours on that frequency. And so it's pretty cool. And I want to thank our friend there on 5150 kilohertz for rebroadcasting the shortwave, tuning the bands. Hopefully it's pretty cool. What else do we have here? Gordon Foster says can't hear 5150 on 20. Yeah, pirates don't necessarily propagate that much to Europe unless really good propagation. I can tell you that. And what else do we have here? David Harden says that he is also a ham radio operator as well. I have an IC 7100, does very well for a shortwave receiver. That's pretty good. What else do we have here? Checking it out. Nothing in the UK for Neil Toombs on 5150. Brett Wayne says S5 to S7 in Western New York. KC2 NXP. Nice to have you there. So it's about S8 here. So really in the Northeast somewhere, broadcasting. That's for sure. And MDK2 says there's a carrier. Is detecting a carrier on 5150. which is a first for him in Denver, Colorado. So, that is nice. And TOT says you should at least get paid if they're using your show on 5150. No, actually, I am. I think it's really cool that you rebroadcast my show, and I think it's quite all right to do it for free. I have no problem with that, and it's it's kind of cool. Thomas Brogan says, believe it or not, Jill, little Bose sound like Mini is the way to go. Yeah, the Bose sound Link Mini, sorry. The Bose stuff is pretty surprising, I gotta say. I have a Sangean WFR20 Wi-Fi internet radio, and it has the same technology that Bose uses for the speakers, and I am impressed at how well these things sound for such small speakers. It is really, really amazing. Philip Briggs says nothing on the 5150 in southern Brazil. Yeah, maybe too much daylight though, still from here to Brazil. That's pretty sure. So very interesting to have this radio show. So we are on every Fridays. From Montreal, Canada, my name is Gilles, and you can also follow me on my YouTube channel, which is Official SWL Channel. So youtube.com/official SWL Channel. And you can watch me live simply by doing youtube.com/official SWL Channel/live. And you can see the radio stuff, and it's pretty cool. PLF says, maybe it's a stupid question, but pirates don't have an ID from QRZ or QRZCQ. No, first of all, it's not at all a stupid question. It's a quite correct question. And no, because these stations are technically they don't really want, they want you to know they are there. They want you to know because they want you to listen in. They just don't want you to know where they are, because technically they shouldn't be there. So, it's kind of, approximately where they could be from the radio listening, but you can't say, oh, he's in the state of New York, or he's in the state of Maine, or maybe he's in Canada. That we don't really know, and that's the point, the people that do these pirate stations don't want to get caught, because technically, they're not allowed to do this. But, there are some exceptions to the law, let's just say that. So, Amy1900 says, a weak carrier 5150 in Oklahoma. So, not too bad. And, yeah, there's still no update. I think the RD600 will not show up until probably February or March of this year. I would be surprised that it shows up before that. From the last I had heard, is the month of March, I think, for the 8600. So maybe they're later than they thought or something, because at first some people were talking about the end of this year, but from what I'm hearing here and there, it seems that the ICOM R8600 won't come in before the month of February or March of 2017. So it's going to give me time to try and get money, if I can, to basically maybe, hopefully in 2017, a new little radio. I think that ICOM R8600 would be nice here. In between the CB and the ICOM here, like right there where the speaker sits right now, just, expand a little more the radios. It'd be a really nice spot for that radio, I can tell you that. Yeah, 7290 kilohertz on the 40 meter band is AMers. There are a lot of AMers, like on 3875, 3885. There's some right now on 3885. 14.290 is also a nice place for AMers. 10 meter band. When 10 meter band's open, 29 to 29 on 150 often has a lot of AMers with really good signals. So it's kind of cool, you know. Some amateur radio operators prefer to have AM than upper sideband. You know, it's like Parrots. 5150 kilohertz is in AM mode, which is good because people that don't have single sideband can listen in. But a lot of pirates use upper sideband because sideband tends to often give you a wider audience. You can often hear an upper sideband signal a little farther away. The only thing is that an AM signal will give you better sound or audio fidelity. So if you're playing music, it sounds better in AM than it is in upper sideband, especially when you're not with a professional grade radio where tuning single sideband is with a little VFO dial, and you know, getting the right tone for the music isn't always very, very easy. So Jerry says it would look good there too on your desk, Joel. Yeah, I know it would look perfect here. We'll know. We'll see in 2017. I'm not focusing too much on that because I don't know where I can get the money for it, but you know. What else do we have? Richard Cook says nothing on 5150 in the UK. It's nighttime. Here it's the sun is setting in about 20 minutes, around 20 minutes. It's still daylight outside, but about 20 minutes. What do we have here? We have Tagerit 0071, Texan PL660 with whip antenna, Albany, New York. Cool. That's nice radio, PL660, the Texan receivers. Pretty good. David Pete, nice to have you here, says S9 in Maine on 5150. Never heard your program before, was just scanning the bands. That's cool. People are finding me through that station on 5150 kilohertz. So that's really nice. Thanks for that. You know, it's cool because it's bringing new people to the live webcast. And that's really, really nice. David Arden says your webcast came up recommended on YouTube. Cool. That's cool. I always wonder about that. You know, on YouTube they have this recommended stuff, and I'm always wondering, you know, is the recommended stuff really recommended? Am I recommended somewhere? So thanks for letting me know that YouTube does recommend my stuff from time to time. I was thinking about something one day about YouTube, and I was wondering if it would have been nice to maybe place a YouTube ad for my Shortwave channel and see if it increases the number of viewers. You know, I'm using a lot of different medias, and sometimes I'm a little I hate it, you know, because sometimes I post my stuff on Facebook, or I'll often post it on the Yahoo groups like HF Monitors or the DX Listening Digest group that is owned by Glenn Hauser. And I sometimes feel that, you know, kind of cheap, kind of, you know, saying, well, you know, I'm using all of these other people's media to kind of promote my channel at the same time. But, you know, I still do it because I think, well, you know, I hate doing it. But in another sense, I'm like, well, if people like Shortwave and want to have another dimension to the radio listening, I mean, a live show, something that's cool to watch, something that's fun and entertaining, and that's that maybe they can learn more. I think it's also cool to use these, you know, and I think, you know, it's okay, but you know, it helps me promote a lot. It helps me promote all of that. So what else do we have here? So yeah, that's, you know, that's not a bad idea. Neil Toom says I need to remortgage the house in February, so maybe borrow a little more. Yeah, you know, like $5,000 more for a radio and antenna. Why not? Why not? TOT is asking me, in case of a power outage, do you have batteries to hook up your radios, or you depend on hydro only? And am I running AC now? Yeah, I'm running on the AC right now. And I don't know if I can show it, but I will show you. Yeah, let's do a little turn of the antenna here. I'm going to show you guys a little something. So I'm going to turn this here. So basically, if I put the camera by there, so here goes. So this is a power supply I built when I was in college in my electronics course. So behind the meter here, let me just check it out. There's a battery right here. This is a lead acid battery. It's a 19 amp hour battery. So this is hooked up to this power supply. From time to time I make sure that it's fully charged. That's why I got the multimeter here, and it is plugged to the ICOM receiver. So if the power goes out, I get from that battery approximately 5 to 6 hours of ICOM radio working. So basically that gives me power in the moments where I need power the most, because one of the things you want to do when you are on a power outage is, of course, to listen to the radio, because the noise is completely gone. And that's the cool thing. So in a power outage, I want to have the possibility to listen to the ICOM. So that's the way I'm hooked up. And I will use from time to time the battery power only, just to create a cycle in the battery, because those types of batteries need to work from time to time. So every 2 or 3 weeks, I disconnect the AC from the ICOM, and I let it drain my lead acid battery, and then I recharge it to full to make sure that it has cycles and that it works well. So and typically those batteries last 3 to 4 years before I need to change them, because they get they don't hold the charge anymore. And they are cool because they basically are easy to maintain. Lead acid batteries are like, really, you just leave them like that, and as long as you don't overcharge them, they're going to give you a good life expectancy, and they're going to give you many hours of radio listening. So basically it powers this, and I don't have it plugged in right now, but it also powers 3 little lights. So if it's in the nighttime that I have a power outage, there are 3 lights that I can also turn on. But I try not to, because of course if I turn on the lights, what's going to happen is I'm going to have less listening time. So I'll use more of a flashlight of some sort. Or I also have a neon battery-powered light that with 4D batteries gives me light for about 6 to 7 hours. So I'll power myself like that. But it's cool, I'm set up. And the reason why I am set up also like this is because, even though it doesn't happen very often, Canada is that place where you are maybe going to have a power outage at some point because of a snowstorm or an ice storm. And you never know, even a very strong thunderstorm in the summertime, for example. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, I am extremely happy to have the power to continue with the radio, basically. So solar light's working great, Jerry. By the way, I don't know if you see, yeah, it's right here. You see it. Here it goes. Here's the solar light. This is a solar light that Jerry make me buy on eBay, and I gotta say, this is good. And actually, I haven't thought about it, but this will be one of my cool lights for when there's power outage, because of its solar panel. So it's basically operated directly, by solar power. It recharges a small battery inside it, and I love it. And it's just so inexpensive. Really, really cool. And basically, what else do we have here? Let's just continue. Sorry if I sometimes miss questions. If I don't see your questions, it's because sometimes I've not seen your questions. PLF says, do you think a store will sell the new ICOM radios for you to test them before purchasing, or they will be only available on the web? There's no more ham radio stores here in Montreal, which is sad because they were the ones that had always a receiver. But I am in discussion with ICOM. I'm not going to say officially, but I have a good chance, guys, that I might have a loaned 8600 for about 3 weeks. If everything works like I'm supposed to with the emails I'm getting, I'm almost to the point where they will send me a 8600 that I can test for 2 to 3 weeks. And so you guys are going to see videos. If you see the videos, don't think that I bought it. It's probably because I have one that they will loan me, which doesn't cost them a lot of money. And you know what? I've pushed to them a lot about my shows and everything, and I think they're interested because they know that there's a lot of users or viewers of my channel that might be interested. So January of 2017 is that moment where maybe you guys will see videos come up, but we're not. I'm still working the details. As for the planned price, even ICOM doesn't know. So we don't really know. We don't really know at all. And so I'm waiting. I'm still in discussion. We're back and forth. Actually, we're not even back and forth on email anymore. We're actually back and forth on phone calls. So, when you get to the phone call time instead of email, I think that's because you're getting closer to the possibilities. So, anyways, all of that in January. And, I think that's almost free publicity for them. And I'll be talking about it. And there's more coming up because we're talking about a lot of things. There's the 8600, but I might actually have to get my hand license for real because they might be interested in also lending me some amateur radio gear, which would be interesting also. So all of that in 2017. Let's cross our fingers, guys. I think that's pretty cool. Hey, Xeno194. Yes, I'm being relayed on 5150. So pretty cool. And so, yep. Yeah, I would like that, Carol T. If they'd say we're going to loan you the 8600 and then, hey, you can give us this amount per month for 24 months. Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Heck, even a year, I'll try it. So, yeah, 2017 looks cool. 2017 is it's a big year for me, okay? It's going to be a big year for everybody, including you guys and me, because 2017 is that year where I decided to go all in. That means I will be concentrating a lot more on everything YouTube and internet, and trying to increase a lot of the revenue that comes from that with different types of revenue streams. I gotta say, you know what? It's kind of scary, and it's a make or break year basically for me. It will be the time where everything goes, and at the end, next year, hopefully at this time, I'm going to say, guys, I'm here for a long time. Or it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be, hey guys, I'm stopping the live shows and everything. And, I know everybody goes crazy when I say that. I mean, so many people on the Windows channel, I was talking about that one Tuesday. People are like, no, don't leave. You love the live shows that you do and everything. And I don't want to leave. And I'm going to really, really work hard to stay in doing what I do. It's just that I got to find a way to increase the revenue, and I've got to find it without annoying everybody about donations all the time. I really, really am, it annoys me to ask you guys for PayPal donations and for Patreon and all of that. And I mean, some of you guys have been really, really fantastic and, coming through for me, and it's very, very much appreciated, I got to say. On the Windows channel also, I've got some people that are amazing, and so generous. But still, that's the side I don't like. I hate asking for money. And I think there's a way of getting money in another form, through, companies and through all sorts of other things, including, a lot of you have been asking for, some merchandise. So that is also something that in 2017 is going to happen. A little bit of merchandise. So, T-shirts, caps, all sorts of little things that could be fun. So basically, I will check it out, and that's something that I need to put up also. Like Carol says, make a banner or find a way to show the Patreon and PayPal stuff regularly. Let's check it out. As for my office, the changes to my office, it's very, very active right now. Everything I'm doing to change. So in January, that's also something that's coming up. Starting around mid-January, my Windows side, I will be doing on a new type of office. I'm actually changing my office, which will look more like a TV studio than an office, basically. I will, have different ways of doing shows. I'm going to add, in 2017, I'm adding some live shows. Both on the Windows side, but maybe on the radio side, some new ideas of radio stuff that could be interesting. Maybe some how-to stuff, and that's coming up in 2017. A lot of things are going to change, and we're trying to do pint glasses. Yeah, for your beers. You guys will have a pint for the to put your beer in that will be of the official Shortwave channel. That's a good idea. I'll have an official Shortwave branded beer. that would be good. Hey Richard, I don't believe in lottery tickets. I never buy them. I do not believe in that. I'd rather put all of that money into something else. So 2017 could be really nice. Neil Toom says, "Hey, Gilles, my niece and nephew watch YouTubers who are making ton of money for talking crap. So come on." Yeah, but you know what's the problem with me on YouTube? And the average age of a YouTube watch or viewer is about 19 years old. So you know what? You guys are kind of out of the general statistic of YouTube. So it's, hey, Tim Robinson, I definitely have a pint glass. Man, why not? I can check that out. You know what? Actually, I should talk to that about that with a friend of mine that has a bar, because he has his own pint glasses sometimes that he prints for his bar, and maybe I could ask him, hey, can it come as a discount if we both order You'll order the ones for your bar, and I'll order the ones for shortwave. That's so. Well, you know what, Carol T? Maybe I should become the Alex Jones of shortwave. Now I'm going to talk about the conspiracy theories of shortwave. For example, that CODAR, it's not at all anything that are radars that are looking for the size and the speed of the ocean waves. It's actually there to, control your mind. So if you listen to a CODAR signal for 15 minutes, you will see that you will be transformed. So Neil Toom says, I need wine glass too. Okay, sat here drinking white wine out of the bottle. Wow, that I gotta say, at least I got a glass, because I don't know, drinking directly out of the bottle, it sounds a little, especially next to the window. So yeah, I don't want to have subscriptions or stuff like that. I gotta say, I don't want to have. I'll talk about HARP. This winter, your brains are going to be totally fried by HARP. I can tell you that. Oh, man. Hey, Pete Steckler, nice to have you on board. I saw you earlier, forgot to say hello. And anyways, this is pretty cool. And I'm 2017 is a very big year for everything I will be doing. So I can tell you that it's going to be. Jerry says Joe needs to make the official shortwave channel great again. I think I heard someone before this. Yeah. Tells me there's something there. I can tell you that. And well, I've got a few theme songs. I got a few songs from Andre from Cool AM Shortwave that has sent me a few jingles for the Shortwave channel, and I will need to use that eventually. So yeah, keychains, all sorts of little things that official beer fridge decals. So we'll check out what's possible, and yeah, well, I do have Neil Toom's. I do have Patreon, which is this a little bit like that, which is a monthly. Actually, what happens with Patreon, and I don't have it printed here, but I'll put it. If you go to patreon.com, let me just print it out here a little bit. So if you go to patreon.com /radio and computers, anyone that wants to help, the way that it works is that when you go to patreon.com /radio and computers, what happens is that you can actually go there and pledge an amount for the live shows and stuff like that. I've already have that set up. There's like I think there's 7 patrons right now that are pledging amounts for either my Windows channel or my shortwave channel, and you just can pledge whatever you want, so that there's for every budget. And Patreon is a nice little place, and it's cool because you can get out anytime you want and pledge how you want. So it's pretty cool for that. If anybody wants to check it out, that's one place where you can have regular. I hate pushing. That's the thing. TOT says Jill should has to push more. I know, but I don't want to. One of the things that annoys me the most is, say, like we're talking about Alex Jones. I mean, come on, okay, you got to invest in the silver dollars or the silver coins, or invest in gold. Gold is going to save your life. Or, hey, we've got the new shortwave radio that's going to save your life in case of an emergency. Because, yes, the government is going to be screwed soon, and you will need to. I hate that. That is the worst damn type of advertisement. I can tell you that. So I don't want to sound like that. I hate that. I hate that. Can tell you that. So, okay, how about a poutine recipe? Poutine recipe, yeah. You know what? You guys don't know that, but when I started doing some YouTube stuff, I actually had a recipe channel where I would post quick recipes. And it actually was fairly popular for the very few recipes that I had put on. And what happened is that in 2011 or something, I got a Gmail account hacked. And it was the one that had that channel, and everything was deleted. But I remember showing this to a friend of mine and said, wow, that's a good idea. And the idea behind that channel was recipes that are extremely simple and very, very fast to do for people that just don't have the time, but yet that had just a good mix of products to be, good for your health. And I got to say, sometimes it comes back to mind, but I got to concentrate. I have too many channels that I don't take the time to care anymore, unfortunately. So got to take more time, and I got to take more time, come back and take more time before, with the shortwave channel and everything. So drink shortwave or bust. So I'm thinking about something for a t-shirt. It's like shortwave radio, and then in the back it says, now that I got your attention, you want me to show you my antenna. Okay, that sounds sleazy. Okay, let's tune around a little more on the radio side, guys, and see what we can hear before I say too many things like that. So what do we have on 15825? We have WWCR out of Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
I mean, they can't save us. You can't get saved by the Ten Commandments because the moment you read the Ten Commandments, what's the thing? You read it. You shall have no other God before me. You don't even have to read the second one. I've already failed the first one. Are you with me? It can't save you. It just does this. Look, it's like this. It just goes like this. This is what the Ten Commandments does.
Rick Kelly says, Rick Kelly says 5150 kilohertz good in Nova Scotia. That's pretty good. Pretty good. And TOT, if I send space 500 to 1,000 a month, then Jill is laughing. Well, I can't talk about the revenue stream, but I can tell you one thing. I do get more than 1,000 a month from AdSense.
Jesus said, I have come to keep the law, to fulfill the law.
I invite you into my heart now to be Lord and Savior.
This is WRMI 15770.
And save me. I confess you before men as the resurrected Christ.
Yeah, that's possible, Richard, especially with the low solar flux index in the longer nights now, above 8,000 kilohertz. Probably not a lot of signals tonight. So Brett Wayne says, I was saved by shortwave.
Baptized by those who have the baptism in the Holy Spirit, which will give you the power to walk the faith walk. Get into Christian community where they will teach you the Word of God.
Yeah, I gotta say that, like Thomas Brogan says, Alex Jones is sensationalist and complete teapot. making a fortune out of gullible people. Yeah, that is true. That's how I, when I hear that and I listen to a guy like that, I can't believe that people actually fall for all of those stories. And I gotta say that it really, really sounds more like a fraud, closer to fraud than to actual stuff. And that's why sometimes, I don't know. I understand, we live in free countries where we can say what we want. But I gotta say that sometimes I feel there should be laws where you cannot say things that aren't true, or I don't know. It's too complex to. That would be too complex to. What is truth exactly? For some, Jesus stations will not be something that should air, and for others, yeah, well, if you believe in God, you believe in these stations also. It's very complex issue.
Classic and timeless Bible teaching.
I think the best thing is education. Education. For sure.
That keeps the believer from walking.
Get a blender. Blend up the full dry smooth as smooth as possible. And then drink.
It's great. It's about covenant relationship.
WEWN from the United States on 15610.
Okay. Relationships are contractual. They're just agreements between people, and your relationship with another person.
Yeah, that's the thing, Carol. I understand also that free speech is the way to go. It's just that I don't know, not censoring, but it's just I hate people that kind of say things that aren't true and still are popular people on the air, and you kind of go crazy. I understand that you might have beliefs, and then yet, that's what happened. As I was saying, something shouldn't be on the air. I was thinking, well, it's way too complex. How would you decide what's on the air or not? And for some people, the truth is different than from other people. What you deem to be the truth and I deem to be the truth is probably different in some ways. It's kind of complex. I guess the best thing would be, education. Help people learn in order not to fall for things like Alex Jones.
The relationship between Christ and His church.
Yeah. So, and of course, it's right there in St. Paul. I mean,
yes.
So it's not as though this is entirely alien to the tradition. It's right there at the beginning, but it's being developed now in a very rich way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that going to be that's critical for the new?
Yeah, Ray, that male vitality formula sounds interesting. And as he's getting older, Alex Jones probably gonna have some Viagra ads.
Into family. But the domestic church really is a mother and a father and children. And what's going on with so-called redefinition of marriage, where it's not just the same-sex marriage, but people are marrying buildings, and people, for example, a woman married a bridge, attempted to marry a bridge in France.
Jerry has a slogan for my t-shirts. Show me your knobs. Official Shortwave channel.
Dies. Now you're a single parent.
Sure,
or maybe there's divorce. Maybe there's violence in the family.
Keep calm in Shortwave. Yeah, that's a good one.
What he's doing is taking circumstance and making it the norm.
Yeah, I mean, those are things that everybody used to agree. Well, those are the circumstances. If we could remedy it, we would.
Right.
We wouldn't say this is the norm.
That's right.
This is a broken bone. We wouldn't say we'll heal a broken bone. We wouldn't.
Let's go, guys. TOT has a formula for air loss. So hey. $100 a bottle. It's really a good deal, and I'll get $50 out of it. Okay, TOT? If we sell tonight 50-50, they're $100 a bottle, guys.
Especially in the black community.
How big is your antenna?
Percent of children born.
I like that one. Carol T says, God VFO.
What it was in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, we were under the oppression of Jim Crow laws and all that segregation, but we stayed together.
Radio Havana, Cuba on 15140 with a pretty good signal right now. This is directed to the west coast of North America. This is Radio Havana, Cuba in French.
L'équipe du service français de Radio Havane Cuba a préparé à votre intention. Peyo, Reynaldo, Michel, Lissandra et Tania au micro, assistés à la technique par notre opérateur du son, Dagoberto. Nous vous remercions de votre aimable attention et vous donnons rendez-vous tous les jours à la même heure et sur les mêmes fréquences sur les ondes ou si vous préférez sur le net.
I get a few bad t-shirts, like every time my wife annoys me, I turn up the volume. Sorry, darling, I can't hear you through the static. $15120, I believe, is Voice of America. Let's check it out. 15120. 120. Hope you're enjoying today's show. We've already been here for an hour and a half talking about shortwave and listening to the radio, basically. So 15120 is... Man, I hate this. I'm using a MacBook for the frequency list, and I hate it. Okay, so Voice of America from Ascension Islands, 15120. Mary the Bridge in Brooklyn. Where's the cat? He's sleeping in the under. You guys, I made the Christmas tree, and of course I have a nice little Christmas village under it. And DX the cat has been enjoying sleeping in between the houses in the Christmas village, just under the Christmas tree. He now found that it's a great place to take a nap. WWV on 15 megahertz. Let's continue tuning around. Aha, for the t-shirts. Where's the Ace the Cat?
Slept for about 6 hours until about noon, got up, and it was about 8 or 10 inches of snow on the car. And over that weekend, they ended up getting 36 inches of snow. So it was really good timing to get out there soon. But then by Monday, the snow had quit and started warming up. We drove up over the passes and stuff like that, didn't have any trouble. And from that point on, out in Utah, the weather was really nice. It was a bit cool in Bryce Canyon, that's a little bit higher. But the other places were really, really nice. We drove a lot of it with the top down and just had a great time. Incidentally, I put my Yaesu FT100 into the car, and I got a Tar Heel, little Tar Heel antenna put on the back of that car.
A special edition of Tuning the Bands for the inauguration on January 20th. Well, we'll see that. Why not?
And stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. I don't know, we spent about 6 or 7 days doing the national park down there. So, M2KED, W0IH.
That station was W0IH. Michael Forrester in Winona, Minnesota. MN is Minnesota, I guess. Nice to have ham station W0IH on 14246 had pretty good signal. Frog89 says, just thought I'd share it with the class. I was about to buy a Toriad core needed for 9.1 Hunun. Then I realized that I have some old computer parts in storage taking apart an old power supply now. Yeah, of course. MN is what? Minnesota? Yeah, okay. Thanks, MDK2. Yeah, Maine is ME. Yeah. I thought MN was Minnesota. So not bad. I'm getting better with my U.S. states. Soon I'll know them. It's you know, heck, I have problems knowing the ones the Canadian provinces. So hey.
Something to the weather people to forecast and change. And the movie I sit around a little bit. 59. Go ahead.
Roger on that. Well, I'm pointed at Florida at the moment, so not bad for signal here today. I was screwing around there with the.
Well, you know, maybe didn't we hear somewhere that, you know, Donald Trump, with all of his promises, might actually give back the solar flux and make the solar cycle go upwards again? Wasn't that one of his promises? At least, you know, that I'm looking forward.
Take you into the other logging system, and then we're going to have QRZ for you with the South Dakota confirmation right now.
That's outstanding, Merlin. We'll be looking for that. QSL.QRZ.com and EQSL.cc. Whatever we can hear, we can before, and those kind of compliments are very good. Yeah, they're looking for South Dakota for quite a while. I just had to hear you call out there, and I got mom has my life lit up here. See if we can get him. Go ahead.
Well, good job, Larry. We got you in there, man. You're in QRZ right now. That's all good. I'm getting Iowa, and eventually got that, but
300 here too. I enjoy operating that. But right now today we've got the 950 on, so running a Heil PR781 microphone. It seems to work pretty well for the three radios. What kind of mic are you running there, Tony? Go ahead.
Carol T says he didn't hear that one of solar flux increase. TOT says 5-hour show tonight, please. Well, we'll go with the flow and we'll know what happens. You know, I'm not sure we're gonna do 5 hours, but hey, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We usually pretty much do always at least 3 hours, and if we look at the fact that I'm only at 14 megahertz after an hour and a half, that means we haven't tuned much and talked a lot. So, you know, might be long. Who knows?
The people on the scapegoat and by a responsible man.
13845 is WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Service packed in. They were to humbly move out of their house and live in a temporary structure and look at the sky. And
Richard Cook says Radio Romania. Let's just check the signal of Radio Romania. Wow, extremely weak tonight. Radio Romania 6170.
Gives you the wealth that you have. He wouldn't let them escape their dependence. For 40 years they'd wondered.
Hey Jerry, if he promised you an R8600 under the Christmas tree, I can tell you a thing, I would have voted for him too.
For any man to learn is to be abounded. I've come at the nobles over and over again.
Hey, take care, Carol T. Now, it's always nice to have you, and thank you. It's always fun to be there. And for those that didn't see the little video, I've reached a new milestone on the Shortwave channel. 8,000. We're at 8,060. I think almost 8,070 subscribers, and 2 million views. Reached 2 million views on the Shortwave channel. That's not too bad.
Is to trust the giver of the gifts instead of the gifts. God wouldn't let these people. That's why they stopped keeping the Feast of the Tabernacles. God wouldn't let them forget. Sit out there in your...
That I like. Peace Tiger says a car in every garage and an R8600 on every desktop.
And look at what God's given you. And God staked his claim.
Insécurité kelen nin bɛ hali si sigilen tɛ an kɔni bɛ yan nɔ baara la mali an bɛ baara la fɔlɔ filanan fɛɛrɛ tigɛli ni ka o cogoyaw bɛɛ wajiya an kɔni bɛ olu de mɛ an kɔni ɲɛ bɛ min na kɛnɛ kan halisa fɛɛrɛ a ka fisa mɛ a ma nɔgɔya o b'a yira k'a fɔ minnu taara nin yɔrɔ in na e ka jateminɛ la u folili nin cogoya la a bɛna nɔgɔya o bɛ gɛlɛya parce que se t'u ye ka na siran sarali o.
This is Voice of America from Botswana relay to West Africa. So this is the Voice of America from the Botswana relay towards West Africa, coming in on 13670. Hey Remlat, nice to have you here. Where's the beer? Official Shortwave channel.
Romeo, Hotel, Charlie, Yankee, Quebec, Tango, I say again, for Papaya, Sierra, 2, Romeo, Lima, Charlie, Whiskey, 4, 5, Oscar, Mike, 6, 2, Uniform, Hotel, Charlie, Delta, Uniform, Papa.
Yep, this is emergency action message from the U.S. Air Force. 8992 11175
Hotel,
13200.
Charlie, Yankee, Quebec,
Even 15016.
Tango.
You just ended the message. So 8992. These are all the main frequencies, by the way. When they have a EAM message, the frequencies 8992, 11175, 13200, 15016. I believe they have two other ones in the lower frequency range, one in 6 megahertz and one in 4 megahertz that I don't remember. They're always there. Yeah, I have, by the way, am thinking about that through Skype, probably. I'm not set up to do it right now. That's why I'm not doing it. But yes, that's something that would be very interesting. And as I'm setting up my new office slash studio, I think all of that will be something that will be possible. So I think that's going to be okay. Ray Kelly says it was 4724 that he heard. So, yep. These are all permanent frequencies. So anytime you want to listen to the Air Force and these EAM messages, they're always on the fixed. It's always simultaneous. So Ray Kelly says 4724. And there's 8992. There's 11175, 13200, 15016. These are all ways there to get these emergency messages. SU1 East Nebraska, nice to have you on board. Late fall heat wave, 58 Fahrenheit there, not bad. Here it's 32. It's 0 degrees right now, and it stopped snowing. It stopped snowing right now, but hey, having fun listening to Shortwave. So as we're tuning around trying to find signals, we're going to continue talking and see what we can hear. Propagation seems to be not the best, but not too bad either. So we'll see. We'll see what we can hear tonight. If it's not as bad as a month and a half ago when it was so bad that there was like almost nothing to listen to, I'm going to be happy, I think it's not too bad. So here we go, WTWW on 15105, while I go and fill up my wine.
Porquanto, não conhecendo a justiça de Deus e procurando estabelecer a sua própria justiça, não se sujeitaram à justiça de Deus. Porque o fim da lei é Cristo, para a justiça de todo aquele que crê. Ora, Moisés descreve a justiça que é pela lei, dizendo: o homem que fizer estas coisas viverá por elas. Mas a justiça que é pela fé diz assim: não digas em teu coração: quem subirá ao céu? Isto é, a trazer do alto a Cristo. Ou, quem descerá ao abismo? Isto é, a tornar a trazer dentre os mortos a Cristo. Mas que diz: a palavra está junto de ti na...
Somos gratos, desde allí empieza el problema de la...
This is WEWN from United States in Spanish on 12050.
Lo sabemos, se negó a agradecer a Dios, al contrario murmuró contra Dios muchas veces, y hallamos un ejemplo en Éxodo 17:3. El resultado de esta fue una generación entera que murió en el desierto sin alcanzar la promesa. Y la ingratitud lleva a traicionar a Dios, queridos oyentes. Bueno.
Exclusivas. Fíjense, es un estudio de 555 personas.
Radio Mark T from the United States on 11930 in Spanish.
Abriéndonos los ojos sobre determinadas tendencias. Por ejemplo, dice que las personas con una baja autoestima tendían a hacer más publicaciones sobre su pareja romántica.
How are you? Nice to have you on board. Hello, folks. Hello there.
A Facebook buscando validación y atención.
¿Tú de cuál estás? ¿De los neuróticos?
No, yo no estoy en ninguna categoría. Fíjate que estoy busque y digo, ¿pero por qué? ¿Por qué no estoy en ninguna?
Yo tampoco, pero conozco a dos amigos, dos parejas, por separado, y cada 5 minutos están poniendo te amo. Ay, el otro y la otra no pareja.
No seas envidioso. Porque es falso. Porque es falso. A ver, mira, déjame decir.
Contigo y no te lo digo 24 horas, no es así.
No eres una nunca. Voy a seguir con el estudio. A ver, mira, dice que quienes tenían tendencias narcisistas utilizaban sus actualizaciones de estado para presumir de sus logros y enviar sus dietas y sus rutinas de ejercicio.
Yo mi dieta no.
Otro estudio sugirió que quienes publican muchos selfies son generalmente más narcisistas y de tendencias psicopáticas. Mientras
Aquí nosotros tenemos una foto tuya tirándote unos selfies. A ti te gustan mucho los selfies.
No se ha tirado una
Tú eres
selfie
medio
ocasional. No, señor, no, señor.
Sí.
No, yo tengo mis selfies controladas porque no quiero aburrir a mis seguidores. Dice que quienes retocan digitalmente mucho sus fotos pueden en realidad tener una baja autoestima. A veces hay que mostrarse como uno es sin filtro. No filter.
Yo también. Me muestro, tal cual.
Bueno, pero hay veces que con filtrico y eso. No, pero no digo un filtro para lucir mejor, sino para poner como si la foto fuera antigua, un filtro blanco y negro. Es que no se puede ser tan tajante. Incluso yo creo que las personas que publican muchas fotos con su pareja o con su familia, porque están muy enamorados.
¡No, hombre, no!
Están lo que están viviendo.
Concurso aniversário 55 de Rádio Havana, Cuba.
No, Radio Marti is in Spanish. And yeah, not too much. It depends on the propagation for the jamming over Radio Marti. It really depends on the propagation. Sometimes it's stronger than others. Radio Havana, Cuba, 11880. Here it's +1 Celsius now. +1. That's about 34 Fahrenheit. We had snow pretty much all day today, and but it was wet snow, so it didn't really stay on the ground. We have a little bit of white stuff on the grass, but not a lot of it. And next week, we're supposed to go into the +8 to +10 degrees. That's going to be like a warm spell for us.
Lembranças da nossa emissora, o prazo de admissão vence em 30 de 2016. Envie seu trabalho à Rádio Havana, Cuba, Caixa Postal 6240, Havana, Cuba, ou para o endereço eletrônico radiohcuba.enet.cu.
Hey there from Facebook, William Helms. Nice to have you on board, my friend. And saying he's listening to Radio Marti 11930 right now. So cool. Nice to have that. And nice to have you watching. Also, he's made a Zep alligator to it, Jesus clip on a pin holding gazebo pipe together at the pool, and got ham working on 14.300 lower sideband. Probably more than probably upper sideband, you mean, but interesting. You know, anything is good. You know, I remember when I was young, I would clip my antenna radio to anything, metal fences, anything in metal that I would see. I would clip the antenna to it and see what performance and what I hear. And sometimes it's surprising. I remember clipping a portable receiver to the fence was made of you know, kind of that green mesh, and the top pole was in metal, and it made probably 50 or 60 feet long. And I remember clipping my portable receiver's antenna to it, and I was amazed at what I could receive. It was very, very surprising. So, you know, anything works. That's the fun of radio, you know. Just experiment and plug your antennas to anything and see what it gives you, you know. Red Wing says 40 Fahrenheit in Western New York, so a little warmer than here. And Mad Radio DXer says, remember DXing outdoors in the cold weather once. Ended up really bad afterwards. I remember taking out my PL, was the PL310 that has a temperature on the receiver itself. And I remember listening outside with my jacket on, and it was about -10 Celsius, so what, around, you know, 15 Fahrenheit. And I remember that at some point, the radio wasn't working well, and I looked at the radio, and the temperature on the radio's dial was like at -7. I was like, I think the radio's too cold, a little too cold for radio listening. Oh, by the way, guys, this week I heard a lot of ranting from Brother Stair towards Glenn Hauser. He was ranting like a lot against Glenn Hauser and ranting on how he spends millions of dollars on shortwave broadcasting.
Pois do contrário, seria necessário os matar para...
Radio Nacional Amazona, this is Portuguese. This is from Brazil. Always a great signal from Brazil on 11610.
Os líderes dos partidos da base governista assinaram uma carta em solidariedade ao ministro demissionário da Secretaria de Governo, Gedel Reira Lima. Indignado com apoio ao claro exercício de tráfico de influência, Glauber Braga, do pessoal do Rio de Janeiro, classificou o documento como absurdo.
Glauber Braga lembra que o próprio Gedel...
Hey there, VA2XMX Petro, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. And yeah, winter tires are a must, I gotta say. By the way, one thing I want to show you guys right here. Look at what I got this week, if I can find it. And I can't find it, of course, when I want to show it to everyone. Let me just check it out here. Where did I put this? Somewhere, I believe. And I can't find it anymore. I wanted to show you guys my the WRMI QSL card I got this week. Oh, here it is. So, hey guys, this is WRMI QSL card received this week for a report dated in October. So this is the Okeechobee, Florida transmitter site with a storm, a thunderstorm brewing just over it. And let's just do this, and here goes. Here's the back of the card with my address kind of taken out. So this is for a report that I sent on 24th of October, 2300 hours on 11580. So nice little. It was nice to have that in the mail this week. I haven't had a QSL card in a little while, so and I had totally forgotten that I had sent for a QSL. So happy to get this WMR card in the mail this week. It was really nice. I was very happy with that. So really cool to it's fun to get QSL cards in the mail. It's something that I need to get back into a little more. I always love that. And thank you, PLF, for the WRMI QSL card. Really, really nice. And it's the first time I never had a QSL card from WRMI before. I never had sent one for a QSL, so kind of happy to receive that. So it's a new one to my collection of cards. Strong signal on 8764. Let's check it out. That's the here we go.
5 feet. Caribbean north of 15.
This is the Chesapeake, Virginia Coast Guard station.
Tonight, northeast winds stand at 20 knots. Seas 6 to 9 feet. Saturday, northeast winds stand at 20 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Saturday night, northeast winds stand at 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday, northeast winds stand at 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday night, northeast winds stand at 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Monday, northeast winds stand at 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Monday night, east winds stand at 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Tuesday. East winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Tuesday night. East winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wednesday. East winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet.
So they are using right now 3 frequencies. Let's try it out. So 13089 is one. 13089. Nothing there. Let's try 6501. Very, very weak. So 8764 is really the best one. This is
Saturday.
NMN, Nancy, Mexico, Nancy, U.S. Coast Guard station in Chesapeake, Virginia,
Southeast winds less than
with
10
maritime weather.
19 nautical miles of coast of Colombia, and northeast 10 to 15 knots elsewhere. Seas 4 to 6 feet.
So PLF, that is part of the U.S. Coast Guard. These are weather station for basically the
Sunday night.
status of waves and weather over the Atlantic Ocean.
3 to 5 feet.
And there's several stations actually in the United States that do this across the United States. There's this one in Chesapeake, Virginia. There's NMG in New Orleans. There's another one in California, one in Seattle, Washington. And these are coastal stations that there's also WLO in Mobile, Alabama. And basically, they are there to give out weather bulletins for ships at sea. And this is from the U.S. Coast Guard. And by the way, these QSL, if anybody wants a QSL from them, you can ask and you can QSL these stations. The only thing is they ask for return postage, if possible, in order for them to send you a QSL card back.
Northwest winds less than 10 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Saturday.
Jerry says 8764 S9.
Increasing to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Saturday night. West winds less than 10 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet.
Matt Radio the Xer, the U.S. Coast Guard, you will receive it pretty sure.
3 to 5 feet.
Thank you, Brad Wayne saying cool card. Thank you.
10 to 15 knots. Diminishing to less than 10 knots after midnight. Seas 3 to 5.
Oh, cool. MDK2's got three QSL cards in the mail from Pirate Broadcast Northwoods Radio this week. Cool. That is nice. Really nice. Hey, Hi-Fi88, nice to have you on board from Baltimore. Sorry if I'm a little late in saying hi. I'm sometimes a little messed up. Trenton, Ontario, Canada is on 15034, and they're also on 6754. Let's just try 6. I don't know if they're on it this time. 6754. Not hearing anything, but I'm not sure 6754 is on at this time. Usually hear it a little later. But yeah, they're on 15034 also. I haven't heard them on 15 megahertz in a long time.
Night. Variable winds less than 10 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Caribbean between 64 west and 70 to west. Tonight. East winds 10 to 20 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Saturday. East winds 10 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet Gulf of Venezuela and 5 to 7 feet elsewhere. Saturday night.
Yes, we have some coastal stations also in Canada, PLF, that broadcast from different areas. They're scattered all around. There's maritime station in Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. Here in Quebec, we have two, I think two of them. One is Rivière-au-Renard, which I hear in the 2 megahertz range. They use very low frequencies in Canada, and that's the thing, is that compared to the U.S. Coast Guard that concentrates on higher frequencies because they want to send out the signal at sea for the maritime stuff, Here in Canada, most coastal stations are in very low frequency ranges, much more local to the shore, basically. So they're scattered all around. Basically, British Columbia has some, and so on. But because of their low frequencies, even here in Montreal, it's difficult to receive them. So imagine getting them overseas, for example. Like 2749 and 2598 kilohertz are some of the frequencies used. So as for the maritime stuff, these are the frequencies. But we do have, of course, the volumes, the aeronautical ones, like Gander radio on higher frequencies for airplanes. And we have the Trenton military one for the military weather in the different air base around Canada. So that also can be received.
5 west. Tonight. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet.
I've never heard Philip Briggs. I've never heard the Argentine Valmet on 8952. Never. Actually, I've never heard a Valmet or any stations like that from South America. Never. So unfortunately.
Sunday. East winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday night.
Hello there, Matthew Burge. Nice to have you on board as usual.
Seas 4 to 5 feet. Monday. Southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Monday night. South winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Tuesday. South winds less than 10 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet.
Oh, you mean CFRX, David? CFRX on 6070 kilohertz. Yeah, that's a regular one here in Montreal in general. Afternoons and early evenings, CFRX. Another one that's regular here in Montreal is the CBC outlet out of Newfoundland on 6160 CKZN. That's another regular here, usually at this time.
07 north to 15 north, west of 55 west. Tonight, east winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Saturday.
So let's go back up to 11780 and tune down slowly, see if we hear other things.
No.
Propagation, it's not the best, but doesn't seem too bad either tonight. So this is Brazil, 11780 in Portuguese.
Esperança para o torcedor do Vasco para se manter acima de tudo a esperança de voltar à Série A do Campeonato Brasileiro, a do Palmeiras, o título, a do Botafogo, a confirmação da Libertadores da América, o Flamengo também a confirmação de pelo menos vencer no Maracanã nessa temporada do Campeonato Brasileiro 2016. E o Fluminense, hein? Voltar a vencer, esse é o seu objetivo. O Fluminense terá novo presidente amanhã. Terá um novo presidente para o triênio 2017, 2018, 2019. Eu estou nessa apresentação do programa No Mundo da Bola com Paulo Garritano, o comentarista de todas as camisas, o nosso Leopoldo Rezende, nosso Google da TV Brasil e também aqui da Rádio Nacional, e o Jorge Hamburger com a gente participando, ele que é o eclético, o dinâmico.
MDK2 says 11780 is S9 plus 20 in Denver. Pretty much like I have it here.
Jorge Brum, produção de Luiz Ferreira, gerente de esportes de Otávio Previte. O Magrão está em campo, a seleção nacional do rádio.
Bullfrog 89 updates us on his teardown of a power supply. And he's got 2 Torrids out of that power supply pulling lots of sweet magnet wire now. That's cool, that's cool.
Ligado na gente, você está ligado no programa No Mundo da Bola, 8 horas e 7 minutos. Olha, se liga nas redes sociais, conosco no Twitter, na BBC Esporte, vai se ligando também no facebook.com/Rio.
And that makes me, when I listen to Brazil, always brings me back memories of Radio Nacional do Brasil, Radio Brás, that was having English language programs to North America in the 80s.
radios@bbc.com.
Embajador de Cuba en ese país, Emilio Lozada García. En la reunión celebrada en el
Radio Havana, Cuba, 11760 in Spanish.
Organización del Tratado de Seguridad Colectiva en la ciudad de San Petersburgo, constataron las partes el excelente estado de las relaciones entre ambos.
Hey there, Calvin. Nice to have you on board, as usual. And pretty cool. Yep, they had ID there as Radio Nacional. And what else we have here? Brett Wayne says 11780, 10/9 in Western New York. That's pretty good. So pretty cool. Howard Parker saying now not hearing much this side of the pond in the UK. Even my favorite station Athens on 9420 not so good. So hey Howard, nice to have you on board. M0AYO amateur radio call. That's pretty cool. Really nice. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. Not good conditions. So,
La ministra de Bienes Raíces de Chile, Nidia Palma, anunció que el gobierno licitará 8.000 hectáreas de terrenos fiscales, los que se pondrán a disposición de empresas nacionales e internacionales que deseen invertir en proyectos de energía eólica en el país. Al presentar esa iniciativa en la norteña región chilena de Antofagasta, explicó Nidia Palma que la misma corresponde a la segunda etapa del proyecto Licitación Internacional Eólica del Taltal, cuyo nombre de aerogeneradores transforma la energía eólica en eléctrica.
Más informaciones en la revista Nuestra América. El jefe del equipo gubernamental, Juan Camilo Restrepo, designado para dialogar con el ELN, Ejército del...
If we look at the latest numbers, at 21:05 UTC, the indices are solar flux of 81. That's not too bad. But the K index is still at 4. So it means that the geomagnetic field is unsettled at this time. And, you know, it could go better, but it could also go worse. It's really not the best of conditions, but it's better than geomagnetic storm.
Erradicar un flagelo que afecta a una de cada 3 familias.
So we're going to continue talking as we're tuning around. Try not to give you guys too much static, and the shortwave bands not to impose static upon you guys. So you are watching the Tuning the Bands Shortwave show. We are here every Fridays. One Friday is the Tuning the Bands. The other Friday is a scanner radio show. Hey, more accident messages. I did catch 15235 Channel Africa earlier today. Was really good, and yesterday also. 2 days in a row of very, very good listening. I listened to both the French and English language program. I don't hear them that well so often, so I thought, hey, I'm listening to the program. And actually, it is interesting. They have some interesting African news. So I listened to the French and English language on 15235, Ray. It is true that Channel Africa is packing a really good signal in the afternoon on that frequency. Oh, really? Brady Bunch mom died yesterday. Well, that reminds these are shows that remind me so much of my childhood. Brady Bunch and all of that. Well, my mom was stuck on what was that show? Archie Bunker. All in the Family. And every time, I go through channels and some station is playing the theme of the family, All in the Family theme song. I just get like nostalgic, like when I was about 10 years old suddenly. All of that. Man, my mom loved All in the Family. She watched every show. Hello there, David in Barcelona. Nice to have you on board as usual. So as we get back to regular tuning the bonds, and 1 second delay. Wow, MDK2. Wait, not anymore. Weird. Unless they had the same phonetic at some point with 1 second. So if you guys want to see the delay, I can tell you, I can show you the clock for a few seconds. So here's the official shortwave clock. So if you want to see how much delay you got, it's 22:16 and 53 seconds. And this is the official UTC time. And I always put this clock accurate every time I do the show. So I could see that my PC clock is actually off. So you guys can see how much delay you've got with my live stream right now as we are tuning the shortwave bands. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And what you have seen there is so here we have, let's see the delays here. The delays are Matt Name, hello, and 9 second delay. Neil Toombs, 20 seconds. Peter K has 5 seconds. Howard Parker, pretty near tonight. What do we have here? In Missouri, Matt Name is in Missouri. MDK2's got 8 seconds, 9 seconds in Barcelona, Spain. TOT is 1 second. Wow. Pretty good, pretty good. Not too bad for a stream as we tune around the shortwave bands in search of signals Let's hope that we have some interesting signals here. And tune around the shortwave radio bands. I can imagine people sometimes getting to the stream and saying, shortwave radio, isn't that something from the 1950s? I'm sure some people get on the stream and they're like, wow, okay, really, somebody's doing a show on shortwave. And here we have WWV.
It was remarkable. Yeah, it was really remarkable. We set out to discover where was the kind of the face of mercy in the contemporary world. To have the chance to travel to Poland, walk a little bit in the footsteps of John Paul II. And I think even had a greater impact on me was covering some of these remarkable stories we told in the film. So we tried to profile some incredible individuals, people like Immaculée Ilibagiza, the survivor of the 1994 Rwandan Holocaust, who forgave the men who killed their entire family. Detective Stephen McDonald was a New York City police officer. In 1986, he was shot, paralyzed, now travels the country giving talks about...
I'm sorry, but I would never forgive anyone that would kill my entire family. 9980 is WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Who really have been transformed by the love of Jesus Christ and living that message of mercy. It has a profound impact on you. So you always grow.
Well, that actually, you know what, is not a bad idea, Jerry. If I could get a decent looking clock that I could print the official shortwave channel on it somehow, that could be cool. Maybe people would love to have a official shortwave channel clock. That's not a bad idea, actually.
That we explore in this film, and which many of your listeners, when they conjure up an image of Jesus, it's likely it may be drawn from that divine mercy.
Richard Cook is receiving RWM Moscow time signal on 4996. So yeah, I haven't seen any people, Neil, that had a lot of problems on the stream tonight. Maybe you might want to restart. Maybe. Yep. That's all in the works, by the way, David. A logo for my shortwave channel and a logo for my media, my Windows channel. I'm working on a brand, basically. And I've already started embedding some code in my videos that people can see. But when you steal my videos, I know about it. I can prove that the video you stole, because I've had a big problem recently, last year, but recently also, some people are stealing my videos and posting them on their own channel, exactly as they are. They're not even, taking the time to cut anything. They just shove it there exactly as is. And so I've been sending out copyright claims like for the past month. I probably sent out at least 100 copyright claims, and so I'm making things a little more precise so that I can actually really tell everybody, look, this is my video, and I can prove it. There's some hidden code in the video image, and it's just crazy. And it's cool because my fans are such great people that they are the ones saying, hey, somebody's copying your videos on that channel. And so I get all my fans sending me like, oh, somebody's stealing your videos here. And so I can go and check it out, and I really appreciate it, by the way, for anybody that tells me this. It's nice to know that when somebody's copying your own videos, it's like, yeah, okay. Why don't you do your own videos instead of stealing somebody else's videos? Hello, Mr. M.
The center. There's ways to discover mercy in everyday life, and I think the best way to summarize is really a deepening awareness.
Well, on the videos that are totally copied, the Mad Radio DXer, the ones that are fully copied, YouTube removes them in 24 hours. every time I send a request for copyright, it takes not even 24 hours. And almost every time I've done it this month, it took about 2 or 3 hours, and the videos were removed. And after 7 or 8 copyright claims on the same channel, they actually closed down or shut down the channel. The thing is, the videos, or the part of videos that were showing on another channel that some people know, you know, I don't agree, but YouTube came back to me saying, look, they are what's called fair right use. And I could still shut them down if I want, but I'd have to use legal means, which are possible. And, you know, if somebody else wants to... The funniest thing is, you know what, is the other people that use part of my videos and that try to make me look like a stupid dumbass haven't realized that 2 things happened with that. They lost some of their subscribers because they thought it wasn't correct and it wasn't fair. And not only that, it attracted attention to my channel, which made me finally get more subscribers than I had before. So, you know, who cares? As long as you're not stealing, you know, a full video, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to say one thing. If you are stealing a full video, I will press a copyright claim against you, and that is for sure. So, and, you know, I've been busy at sending a lot of them lately. So it's part of my work day, sending out copyright claims.
Something that you yourself don't have.
One of the channels I suspect is from, you know what, in the last month I've noticed that it seems to be Chinese people that create channels and steal content from other channels, and they try to cash in on the videos, and basically they're cashing in on the views that are generated by videos. And actually, I've been working a lot with other YouTubers because a lot of these channels steal from multiple sources at the same time. So what I've been doing is not only doing copyright claims for my videos, but when I see other videos that are not mine, I search for the content on YouTube and I tell the other YouTuber, look, that guy is stealing your videos. So you should do something and send a copyright claim also. So by having everybody together, you know, sending copyright claims all the time, a typical YouTube channel is taken down in 24 hours. The first few hours, they get copyright claim and the videos are removed. But in 24 hours, almost every channel that stole my content was completely gone from YouTube. And when you tried to reach it, it said, well, this channel was shut down for copyright claims. And actually, it is automated. That's what I was talking before, Mad Radio DXer. You know, one of the things that I was amazed is that a lot of the videos that I post, I was amazed at how fast they were posted on the new channel, and it really seems automated. It seems like somebody wrote a code that steals from a channel and posts it on another channel almost immediately. Because every video that I was posting was on that channel not even 5 minutes after I posted. I mean, I can't think that somebody's just watching my channel 24 hours a day knowing when I post a video. It's impossible. So there's automated processes that are posting the videos on other channel. So it seems to be a big problem right now.
Pero el gobernante Partido Popular dice que el país va en lo que llama dirección correcta.
Yeah, they will soon have a watermark. All my videos will have a watermark. But right now they do. You guys don't see it, but as I'm broadcasting right now with the software, which is Wirecast, you guys don't see it, but I have an invisible watermark that nobody noticed, but I can actually show up by changing some of my settings. So my videos have an invisible mark in them. That's been there for more than a year. In order for me to be able to prove to somebody, look, that's my video, because I know something nobody else knows about my video.
Help you reach the world. And of course, we're not.
We recorded that, but that's the one with the protest at the reservation. And I had a grown-up guy call me. He said, hey, I cried when I heard it. So that program 11-2. Go check that out. Okay? Thank you.
That is also WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Spanning the globe and reaching out to all nations with the good news.
Hello, shortwave guest.
This is WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Hello there, Andrew Everett. Yes, you need, or maybe need to get one of the new ones. There's this model is replaced by the ICOM ICR 8600 that should come out sometime in 2017. This one is the ICR 8500. Hey there, Synos XX. I'm going to try it. 4625, which is the Russian buzzer. Absolutely no sign of the buzzer tonight on that frequency, which doesn't surprise me that much. Propagation isn't that great to Europe, it seems. North-south signals have been strong, but to Europe doesn't seem that great. Oh, I wonder, Neil says, he sees that eBay UK has 5 ICR 8500 for sale for auction. It's possible. You know, a lot of people want only one radio, so basically they sell the older one and they buy the new one. I'm not that kind of person. I want to keep this one and I want to have the new one. I've sold too many receivers in the past that I am so sad to not have anymore, that I don't want to sell this, because I know if I sell this, I will be very, very sad. I can tell you that. So Jerry says I should have an R8600 tours in January and charge admission to see the radio. You know, I'll do video tours. I'll say, look, okay, well, you know, for $19.95, you guys can spend 2 hours and ask me whatever you want on the ICR 8600. There will be personal video conferences for everybody for $19.95. I can bet you some people will say, oh yeah, I want to pay. Synos XX says, getting the buzzer from Netherlands, pretty good quality. Yeah, here in North America, the buzzer propagation needs to be good because it's not a regular. It's from time to time. Howard Parker says nothing on 4625 and is in the UK. David Arden, no, you can never have enough radios. I want to have more radios for sure. I can tell you that. I never have enough radios. What else do we have? Can you get a QSL card from them? I don't think that the buzzer will give you a QSL card. I can tell you that. So basically, they almost don't want you to know that it's there. I would say, but no, I will never sell my 8500. You know why? Because I also get know that I will get use of two receivers, because I know that one will be on HF and I could tune the other one on VHF or UHF at the same time. I enjoy having I would say that I'm a multitask guy on radio. I often have 2 or 3 receivers turned on at the same time, tuned to different frequencies. It's something I like to do. And, this is my dream radio. This is the radio that I've always wanted from the time that it got out. So, you know what? This is part of my life for the rest of my life. And even if I get an 8600, I want to keep this. I've had too many radios that, I've lost over the years. And now I wish they would be here with all of the rest of my radios. I can tell you that. So that's for sure. Ray says no buzzer here yet either. Last I heard was a week ago. Yeah, about a week or 2 ago, the last time I've heard it also. Neil says if you do get the 8600 on loan, be good to see what the LAN options give us. Be good to have full remote access. Yeah, that would be fun. We could try the remote access thing and have some of you tune it. That could be very, very nice. That would be nice. Neil Toon says got the 8500, the FRG 100. That's a nice one. That's the one I would like in my collection. I always found the FRG 100 from Yaesu to be a nice little receiver. And wasn't that expensive too. 2 Uniden scanners and a Kenwood TS2000 and all on tonight. So you see, I'm not the only one. I turn on several radios at the same time. I like it to have all of that working. It's always fun. Hello there, 1990 Sunbird. Nice to have you on board. DX the cat is in the bedroom. He's sleeping, and so that he can be a little more, wake me up at 3 in the morning. Jerry says make instructional videos for $24.99 plus shipping. Yeah, that could be. You know what? I'm surprised. I haven't done a lot of them, but I had so much feedback from just the videos I did on the R8500, explaining some of the functions, and also on the R20. People seem to be in need of video instructions of how these radios work, and I hope that the instruction manual in the 8600 is good, because it's okay for the 8500, but for the R20, it's one of the worst crappy manuals I've ever seen in my life. A friend of mine has one, and he asked me so many times, hey, how do you do this? Because the manual doesn't explain it well, and nobody knows how to do it. And you just have to kind of play with it and learn by yourself. And so a lot of people have been saying, yeah, these videos you put up on how to use the different functions of the radio, they're actually real interesting, because I don't understand a thing in the manual. So, I hope the 8600's manual is better. I can tell you that. So, yeah, but it is different. I think it's different. They say that the 8600 is based on the 7300, but the problem is the 8600 is a wideband receiver. It's a receiver that's going to go up to like 3 gigahertz. So maybe part of it, but it can't be all of it, because the 7300 is an HF rig. So it's going to be interesting to see that for sure. David Arden says if your cat wakes you up at 3 a.m., just tune the Radio Australia good at that time. Yeah, but usually when he wakes me up, I just want to sleep more. But that could be an idea. That could be an idea. And Richard Cook says that he's receiving Voice of Korea on 7570 in Spanish. So via U20 receiver. That means propagation isn't that bad, probably. So let's continue tuning around. Maybe we'll hear something unusual on the bands. We'll check out for pirates also. They're probably going to do some pirates. Hey, John Schneider, KB2COP. Good evening. And what antenna do I use for shortwave listening? Right now, it's a sloper antenna that is 22 meters long, so about 75 feet, something like that. And it goes into my backyard up to the top of the roof here. I'm at the 3rd floor of this house, which is the top floor. And at the end, there's a little box with a 9-to-1 Unun. So that's my antenna. And this is an antenna, by the way, that was donated to me by a European listener, European viewer that actually enjoyed my videos so much. He said, I want to donate a gift to you. And he sent me that, which is the IN-fed antenna. Very, very nice. And you know what? I've been actually enjoying some better propagation, better reception, basically. It seems that the signal-to-noise ratio is better. Even though I do still have a lot of noise, I seem to get more signals with this antenna. And so it's a sloper, and it's pretty much, orientation is pretty much east-west in my backyard. So, and Bullfrog89 says, speaking of 9-1 Unun, I'm winding mine now. Pretty cool. You know, there's nothing like having fun to and playing around with you know, these making your own antennas and stuff. It's always fun. Neil says, try to refresh the stream, Joel. Can I see the clock again briefly? Yep, of course. Of course. So here's the clock again for anyone that wants to see how much delay you guys have got with my own stream. So this is where we are here. 2240, getting to 2241 right now. So UTC time, of course. This is not my local time, by the way. For those that say, hey, he's 10:40 p.m. No, I'm local time, Eastern time, North America, which is 5:41 p.m. right now. But this is universal time, which is the time for shortwave radio listening. So you guys can see the delay here in the stream on the internet as we are tuning the bands for Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And Jerry says, remote tune the R8600 for $10 a minute. Take Visa or MasterCard, or you can call it 1976. Forget the 1976 sex lines. Now you can have a 1976 tune the ICOM R8600 line, and that is only $10 a minute. So basically 11 seconds for David in Barcelona. Not too bad, not too bad. Neil says, I keep getting multiple freezes of about 2 to 3 seconds duration. Oh, really? It could be a YouTube thing also. I can tell you that. So VA2XMX Petro has it at 5 seconds. And he's in Montreal, in the same city as I am. I think more in the western part, though. Richard Cook's receiving the PIP on 3756. And yep, Mad Radio DXer. You know what? I'm gonna continue going down, and in a few minutes, in 10-15 minutes, I'll do a long wave medium wave scan. Even though it's so noisy that it's just gonna drive everybody crazy. But I just want to go down a little bit on shortwave again. But I promise I will, just for you. And so let's check out. I've been listening, by the way, to the 940 kilohertz station in Montreal, which is a new AM station we have here. Oh, you're located in Laval. I thought you were in Montreal. Weren't you in Montreal before VA2XMX? Or you were in Laval, actually. I always thought you were in Montreal. So maybe it's my maybe I misunderstood or something. Ray says he's heard the PIB a few days ago, but for the first time, but not heard them since. By the way, Ray, I often see your posts on Facebook, and sometimes makes me bring out the radio just to check out on something because of what you're receiving. Oh, used to be in Blainville, moved to South. My mom comes from near Blainville. My mom comes from Sainte-Thérèse, really near Blainville, basically. My mom comes from there, and she's actually at the Sainte-Thérèse cemetery. You know, I passed on 7850 kilohertz CHU. I haven't had a CHU, a decent CHU signal on 7850 in quite a long time. Cool, Neil, no problem there, and have a good rest of night. Take care, and cool. Watch, we'll be continuing our tuning around the band, so you can take it easy and watch our tuning. Take care, my friend Neil. And yeah, Le Vieux Sainte-Thérèse, yep. Well, you know, that's the thing. 78. You know what? 7850 used often to propagate really well here, and I'm surprised at how I haven't heard it in such a long time. $74.90 kilohertz, a really good signal out of WBCQ with some good old times music, which is probably the Fred Flintstone show, I would guess. So I would. By the way, Neil, the next broadcast is, and for everybody that's watching, the next radio show is next Friday, December. I can believe it. Next Friday is already December, December the 2nd. And also, I will have. I'm not sure of the date yet, but guys, I will have a special Christmas show. Special Christmas show, and. It's going to be sometime either before Christmas or maybe it's going to be in between Christmas and New Year's. I'll have a special Christmas show coming up for all of you guys. So 7490 is WBCQ, really good signal. MDK2 says 7490 is S9 plus 20. And yeah, time is flying incredible, Tim. I mean, I look at the calendar and it's like, really? Next week I'm going to have a show on December. It's going to be December? Okay. And yeah, well, 7490 is more of a summer thing for me too, Ray. I'm surprised that tonight 7490 is here. But I'm usually more on WBCQ. I'm more like on 5130 or one of those frequencies in general. 7405, very strong. Radio Marti, incredible. Radio Marti is really strong.
Not for sale. Les presento el tema titular. I know.
With the music that we're not gonna actually post too much, so we make sure that we don't have any videos cut. By the way, last time I didn't put a very long one, and they told me I couldn't monetize my live show because of the music, basically. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's check out for pirate stations. Pirate stations. Not hearing much right now on pirate stations. So Ray Kelly says 7405, huge on the waterfall. Yeah, it's really strong, I can tell you that. So, that's cool. Hey, Richard, continue giving some frequencies for the U20. Tim Robinson is actually getting some stations thanks to your tips. So we're tuning around the bands. Not a lot of propagation seems to be going down quite fast right now. Hey, Brian Smith. Hello there. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, the YouTube bot is amazing. You know what? You post something with 8 seconds of music in it, and immediately it tells you, oh, you can't monetize this because you have this song from this artist, and this is that group that's claiming copyright. And it's like, what? It's just amazing. Really amazing. I wish they'd do that with my videos. Yeah, but you know what, Charlie? Even if the maximum usable frequency here in Montreal, okay, I do understand one thing. Okay, Montreal is located about 100 kilometers away from Ottawa, and what happens is that 100 kilometers away means 7850 probably propagates over me most of the time. But I gotta say, in mid-afternoon, 7850 used to be quite regular for me. And for some reason, I haven't heard it in a long time, or it's just that by chance I haven't been listening to the good afternoons, or I don't know. But I got to say that I understand one thing. Of course, being 100, of course I've got 3330. 3330 for me is a 24 hours a day signal. But 7850 when it packs a good signal is amazing. So 6180. Brazil coming in on 6180. So not too bad.
Testimony from, among others, James Baxter. Mr. Baxter is the publisher.
CKZN out of Newfoundland, Canada, the CBC outlet on 6160.
And opinion about Canadian politics. But Mr. Baxter told MPs that the CBC expansion into online publishing, complete with online advertising, is pushing journalists like him to the brink of extinction. We reached James Baxter in Ottawa.
Mr. Baxter, members of Parliament, the CBC, you called it an uber predator. Do you want to expand on that?
Well, I said that I didn't think it was a benevolent force in my world. It's a predator in that it operates in its own environment. The analogy I've used is that it's a T-Rex, and sometimes us little furry mammals get hit by the tail as it moves around. And ultimately, because there is very little direction to in the Broadcast Act for what the CBC can and can't do, we really don't know where its next move is going to be, so we can't stay out of the way.
Well, how has CBC's
Thomas Brogan, the Pawn Star, from what I've seen, I've seen mostly reviews. I remember seeing a review on the an older World Radio TV Handbook. I remember seeing a review on the old a few magazines, basically. They seem to be okay. They seem to be okay. From what I've seen, it's really seem to be good receivers.
Shows have been curtailed. Though, to me, that's what the CBC can do and should do, and particularly in areas that are underserved. And instead, it is expanding wholesale directly into for screen what would be normally website type traffic.
Okay, and again, so how does it describe how that affects your business?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. First and foremost, the CBC has by far and away the most traffic of any Canadian news site, and yet its digital advertising prices what would be seen as the market, and partly because it starts the year with a $1.2 billion head start on the rest of us. And the ad sales people, their remuneration is whatever we can get, we'll put in. You need a certain number in order to thrive. So that's, again, they're competing with us. We have hard costs that are not met with government funds. We have to get those funds from advertising and subscription. In my business, which is more subscription-driven, the problem exists that when the CBC expands its Parliament Hill Bureau, because it sees an audience there, which I had identified 5 years ago, it's now offering that service free, as opposed to allowing you to continue.
In answer to that, the president of the CBC, Hubert Lacroix, spoke as well to the same standing committee on Canadian heritage that you did. He said it's $4.6 billion a year, the total digital advertising revenue in Canada, of which CBC digital is taking $25 million.
Sinus XX, you know what? I think a lot of the HF frequencies for distress signals are now pretty much gone. Nobody's monitoring them. There used to be 2182. And but I don't know. Anybody knows of some of the distress frequencies that are still in use?
Air Canada can buy.
Yeah, sometimes when the stream halts after a while, restarting, it seems that there's too much buffering sometimes, and it just freezes the stream.
Una revolución sea saludable. Hay que tener sabiduría en lo que son la resolución de los conflictos.
This is Mi Amigo something from WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
En toda relación va a haber conflictos, principalmente en el matrimonio, que hay tanta cercanía. La cercanía revela imperfecciones y por lo tanto diferencias. ¿Cómo resolver nuestros conflictos sabiamente? Número 1, no gritando. Número 2, respetándonos. Número 3, permitiéndonos entender que no gana el que impone su criterio, gana el que logra que el otro tenga intacta su dignidad que hemos enfrentado una dificultad. Ese es el secreto. Si yo logro comprender que no importa quién gane, quién pierda, que lo importante es acordar que venimos juntos, esto nos pone a trabajar en el bienestar de la otra persona.
This is the Caribbean beacon out of the island of Anguilla in the Caribbean. As Howard Parker says, it's like he says, it's if you like the show, please press like. As I provide time and expertise for free for our benefit and entertainment. Yes, and I most of you do. It's my enemies that don't. I got a few enemies. I'm starting to like it. Maybe more enemies I get, the more. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there. Okay. Yes. I do have. I do have a Twitter account, Bullfrog89, and I'm gonna show you. It's at Shortwave Radios, and here it is, written on pen. I need to really put this in a better form, but at Shortwave Radios. I don't know if you guys, here we go. This is my Twitter handle, at Shortwave Radios. So Shortwave and radio, like I have many radios with an S at the end, at Shortwave Radios is my Twitter and I post regular videos. I post regular comments of things that I hear or see. I also post upon my live shows that are going to happen. So it's an interesting place to be. I got 445 followers, and I follow about 75 people right now. So got a Twitter account, and thank you for all of you that are really great people. You know, I've got great fans, and it's always fun to have everybody here. So Danny Shortwave, do I ever get QSLs? Yeah, of course I do get QSL cards. I was showing a little earlier the WRMI QSL that I received this week. I've got a big two big books full of QSL cards from the past. This week I received this one from WRMI in Florida. It's been a little while since I had QSL the station. And so this is the Okeechobee, Florida transmitter site with the storm raging just above it. So it was nice to have this WRMI. It's the first time that I QSL WRMI in Florida. Hey, thank you, Danny Shortwave Radio DX. Cool to, you know, it's a very niche market. Very niche market. And to be able to get so many views and so many people watching is actually pretty nice. Voice of Turkey in English on 5960. Not very strong, but it's there. Voice of Turkey 5960.
Between 2130s and 2230s in the 41 meter band on 9610 to South Asia and Australia. Between 2300 hours and 000 hours in the 49 meter
By the way, Tim Robinson, if you want to try a station, Turkey should be a good one on the U20 receiver. Tune the U20 receiver to 5960, and that is the Voice of Turkey, coming from Ankara, Turkey.
Between 0400 hours, 0500 hours UTC in the 49 meter band.
Yes, Tim, 8,000 subs. I think it was 8,060 something this morning, and 2 million views. So, and counting, of course. As for the Windows channel, it's also coming to a nice milestone. I'm almost at 26,000 subscribers and 10 million views on the Windows channel.
Please note that transmission broadcast between 2300 hours and 0000 hours UTC, between 0400 hours and 0500 hours UTC, has been purely recorded. Our email address is first day of life. European Parliament vote on Thursday is no radio.
Oh, that's nice. Bullfrog 89 showing me on Twitter is 91 Unan made during the live stream. You know, it's always fun when you make something, you know, by yourself instead of buying equipment and it works and it does a job. It's always cool. So congrats, you're the king. And continue. It's really, really nice. Thanks for sending out this picture.
For Friday, pilots continued a strike for a third
The word is in your life. You see, you haven't heard it, until you received it, believed it, and are putting it into practice. Implementation. Once you have put it into practice, then you can recognize you've heard it. It's one thing to hear the words, it's another thing to hear the heart. It's one thing to hear what your wife is saying, your husband is saying, your child is saying. It's another thing to hear their heart. It's one thing to hear what your Heavenly Father is saying. It's another thing to hear his
WWCR out of Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Not really hearing. It's got to move from the head to the heart and into implementation. So in this message, we're going to take a look at...
Let's check it out, 7220 for Radio Romania. No signal here of Romania on 7220.
Begin with verse 25. And behold, a certain warrior stood up, and tempting him said, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said to him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered and said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. He said to him, Thou...
Weak signal from Radio Havana, Cuba on 5040. Rebelde is weak. So here we go, Mad Radio DXer. We're going to go down to the long wave bands. So I'm going to start tuning around the long wave band at 100 kilohertz, which is the lowest that this receiver can receive. And we're going to go through long wave and medium wave. But I got to warn you guys, I got such high noise level that I don't think we're going to get a lot of signals. So take care, MDK2. See you next time. Always nice to have you on board. And really, really cool to hear these stations. Tim, you know now why we are hooked to our radios. Imagine your own radio in your home receiving Turkey from the comfort of your living room, for example. That's what's keeping us there. I can tell you that. So, okay, let's go. 100 kilohertz, noise level very, very high in the long wave, medium wave, but we'll be tuning around of the long wave band. So this is the first signal I'm hearing, 248 kilohertz. This is the Montreal Airport beacon, which is sending out in Morse code the letters UL, because the airport of Montreal is YUL. So this is this is pretty much a aeronautical beacon. 248 kilohertz from the airport here in Montreal. Hey Howard, no problem. But you know, I'm sending out a very high stream here. I'm sending out 1080p. I'm sending out at 4 megabits per second. So I know that you know, from time to time it isn't always perfect, depending on the. Hey, VA2XMS, thank you for the for the logos. They are nice. They're pretty nice, actually. Official Shortwave channel. Nice. Thank you very much for sending this through email. I am keeping them preciously. I can tell you I will use them. Thank you, Petro. Yeah, I had Jerry. My Kenwood R5000 also went down to 30 kilohertz. The R8500 goes down to 100. This is the lowest. And SG2 East Nebraska says the video stream is very good, so it seems to be okay. This on 295 is a transmission. It's kind of a Navtex transmission, or it's like a positioning system that boats use. There's actually I remember trying out a piece of software that could decode this. This is a transmission for boats just south of the St. Lawrence Seaway. Direction finding beacons are an old system, Andrew. What you hear there are navigational beacons on the long wave band. This is an old system, and basically by the speed and how an airplane works, they were able to use these long wave beacons that were kind of the first systems that would guide a plane towards the airport. So when the plane is actually flying, it created a Doppler shift of this frequency in a way that the planes could actually, with the radios, kind of guide themselves towards the airport. Now this, I'm not sure that a lot of planes are using this anymore because there's so many other systems now. But it's one of the systems where you would home in on a beacon and be able to track the plane correctly towards the airport, basically. And it's an old system, and you know what? Basically, I would think that these are slowly, going to be phased out. So by using the different beacons on long wave, you could pinpoint pretty much where an airport was. As the plane, there was on the plane there was a radio that was always tuned to that frequency, and it could actually gauge pretty much where the airport would be in relations to the plane's position, basically. So hey, Bullfrog, have a good lunch, have a good dinner, and yeah, who knows? We'll see. We've been on now for 3 hours and 12 minutes, by the way, and continuing on. So, but I think that's an old. Are the airplanes still using them a lot? The racing signal? I'm wondering, because this is kind of an old system. It's been there for a long time. I used to DX these, by the way. I remember the 80s when I was DXing all of these. I've heard many directional beacons from the United States, even one from Bermuda The farthest that I've got was from Bermuda. There was one that was really, really good to. Yeah, you could say it's kind of a radar, Brian Smith. It's part of the radar system basically, and you can pinpoint the airports using these directional beacons. So it seems that they're still there. So it's pretty cool and really nice. Daniel Edward joining in. Cool. And well, you can have a stream at an even better 480p. You can have it at 1080p if you want. Should be in full 1080p in general, this stream. So if you put it full screen. So yeah, it's like a directional it's like a radar system in a way. And that's pretty cool. Sergeant Markins, nice to have you on board, says thanks to you and a few other YouTubers. Got his first PL680 and loving it. Great receiver. I love my PL680. Man, I really enjoy it. I can tell you that. So basically, no, the signal from. Let me just check here. It's. I think it's ZHU, if I'm not mistaken. 407 kilohertz. This 407 kilohertz beacon, Montreal. So yeah, ZHU. That's the Morse code. ZHU, which is the non-directional beacon. And if I look here, it's located, wow, I got a map here. It's actually located, it shows where it's located exactly. And it's, of course, one of the navigation beacons. So ZHU, and it is operated by Nav Canada, which is the company that kind of has all the Canadian airports here in Canada. So ZHU is the Morse code right now. Really, it's they all have their call signs. So every navigational beacon has its own little call sign, and often the American ones and the have a different tone from the Canadian ones. Not all of them. But there's a good part of it that do have a different tone. Wow, I didn't think that they would still implement such systems even in the Airbus planes. So it means that it's still meant to be used, really. Interesting, huh? Thanks for the info, Racing Signal. Kind of nice. I would have thought that this was kind of an old long wave thing that's, you know. Oh, it could be a different one, Sinus X. It could be a different one where you are located. That's for sure. Look at how high the noise level here. It's just amazing. You know what, you guys? Something that I've never noticed before. My attenuator, it's at 10 dB because I have a lot of noise. I had never noticed that it didn't work in long wave. So in the long wave bands, I can use the 20, but I can't use the 10. I never knew that. Something new. You know, we always have something new we don't know about our radios. So in the long wave band, I cannot use the 10 dB attenuator. I can use the 20, but not the 10. That's interesting. And as soon as I move up to 500 kilohertz, here goes. The 10 comes back. Kind of cool. Okay. So let's tune around the medium wave band. And we're going to check out what we can hear on the medium wave band. Hey, Radio Zip. nice to have you on board. Cut the live stream. Woohoo. We've been on for 3 hours and 15 minutes right now. And Jerry says 85.5 lower sideband has a popping noise like popcorn. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. So let's check it out on the medium wave band. So let's put this close and tune around the medium wave band just for the fun of it.
Beautiful while reducing overhead.
This Sport and Harmony, courtesy of Dan, Linda, Polly, Chris, Teddy, and Becky, and Carlo, Paul, and Vinny, the crews of Portland. And now, George and Rick.
Hey there, X80X or Keegan in Northwest Arkansas. Nice to have you on board.
Manufacturer, are you sick and tired of waking up during the night to go? Those constant interruptions during the day? A common problem for men of a certain age. Well, after a few months...
Oh yeah, you know, Brian Smith, you could QSL everything in the past. I remember QSLing TV stations. I QSL'd medium wave stations. I've QSL'd so many things in the past when, you know, these stations had more money to devote to all of this. You could QSL so many signals.
Night sleep is critical to a productive day. Prostate
That's nice play. He isn't the best passer of the puck, but I think a lot has to do with that. Like a lot.
This is the TSN sports station here in Montreal.
That comparison. So it's coming from every which way, and some of it's warranted, and I think some of it isn't.
Simon Slickis, Chris Nell, and Sean Campbell, Rod Francis, Jay Farrar. This is the Friday Scrum on a TSN 695. Road games coming up for the Canadians. How many starts for Carey Price?
Radio Circulation 730.
This is the station for the traffic station. This is a 24 hours traffic station on 730 kilohertz. I'm actually having some intermod or some sort. Let me just check something here. If I go on 940, whoops. Yeah, I'm actually having intermod from that new 940 kilohertz station. When I go to other frequencies, I can hear it in the background. Whoa.
Continue avec la Val Bassarantier de la Lodière. Si vous avez d'autres comme ça, là où il y a de la congestion, 514-00231, Bonnie-Talus.
Wow, that's interesting. It intermods with other station. I've never noticed this.
Vous avez des questions, des interrogations concernant
940 kilohertz actually has it's in the background. It's received on all the other frequencies.
L'état des routes, les conditions routières. Purchase necessary. Grand prize value $42.35. Odds of winning depends on number of entries. Skill testing question.
This is CJ80, the English language station in Montreal.
Black Friday. Yeah! Slaves with Virgin Mobile, and he's showing us all the deals he gets. Deals at Starbucks.
Black coffee!
Deals at Dynamite.
Dynamite!
And deals on ebooks at Kobo. Eat, Pray, Love?
Oh, yeah, that's for me mum.
Hook up with Virgin Mobile this Black Friday from November 24th to 28th and get Samsung Galaxy phones from $0 plus an extra gig of data on select 2-year plans. Some extra charges apply. Check out a Virgin Mobile store or the source for details. It's better to be a member.
You're listening to The Aaron Rand Show on News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
You know, David, that's what happens when you have too many radios working at the same time in the same room. You got to be careful. Only one receiver at a time.
AD 800 and also hundreds of other radio digital stations. Your talk, your...
Wow, 129 to 160 pounds. Wow. You know what? I'm going to check it out just for the fun of it here in Canada. I remember with paying something like about 140 Canadian dollars. Do you remember, Ray, how much you paid for it? I think it was like 140 Canadian dollars or something like that. Texan PL. Now the Canadian dollar is horrible, so it's going to be higher in price. And but well, you know, with shipping, the price that I see here for the Texan PL 680 in Canada, best price I see is It's $150 Canadian, which is much less expensive than what you paid for in British pounds. I mean, 150 Canadian dollars is like, I don't know, 80 British pounds or 90 British pounds or something. So, 150, about 150 Canadian dollars right now. That's the lowest price I see when I look at it quickly on eBay for the PL680, which is not much more than I paid for, I believe. Not much more than I paid for, if I remember well. Yeah, Ray. Well, you know, I bought mine a little, not very far away from you, but something like that, 120, 130 Canadian dollars from an Onco also, with very, very fast shipping. So, that's interesting. And you see now it's about 150 Canadian, from what I see. Yeah, David, only one radio at a time. So it's about 150. So yeah, same here as what we bought our radios, Ray, pretty much at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, right? If I remember well. And yeah, a lot of the prices for Europe seem to be much higher than when they ship for here, though. Gotta say this. So you know. So what do we have here? Let me just check quite quickly. Okay, so X80Xer received Windsor, Ontario, 800 kilohertz. Here's some. You know what? Here, the only time that I was able to DX 800 kilohertz was because at some point a year or two ago, they had maintenance on the CHJ80 transmitter, and it was off from midnight to 6 a.m. It's one of the only times I've been able to DX anything, basically.
The Pitbull bylaw.
Points at 19,152. That's the new high. The Nasdaq up 18 at a record 5,399. The S&P up 8 to 2,013. Another record. Retail stocks on this Black Friday were split between haves and have-nots. Target and Walmart's gains. Department stores such as JCPenney and Macy's lost ground. Reports from news outlets and analysts indicate relatively subdued Thanksgiving and Black Friday crowds at brick-and-mortar stores. At online stores, it's a different story. Adobe Digital Insights says online shoppers spent almost $2 billion on Thanksgiving Day alone. Drug makers have spent almost $250 billion so far this year buying other drug makers. And one more deal is in the works. Johnson & Johnson and Actelion say they're talking. Business news at 25 and 55 past every hour. I'm Tracy Jonke, Bloomberg Business for WCBS News Radio 880.
Business. The Canadian dollar was much better back then. The Canadian dollar now is horrible. So this is WCBS out of New York coming into Montreal on 880 kilohertz.
That's why less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forever Mark inscription, a promise of beauty, rarity, and responsible source.
Oh yeah, it's last year. I remember because I was telling myself that was my summer radio for 2015.
This ensures that a Forever Mark diamond helps improve the lives of those involved in its journey, so you can feel proud to give.
Oh, interesting to know. Danny Shortwave Radio DX says he recently bought the Texan AN200 AM loop, and he says it works very well.
Here at J. Albert Johnson.
This is the new AM station with lots of music and IDs from time to time on 940 kilohertz AM. I can tell you guys that medium wave isn't that great tonight because I hear much more than that usually.
C'était resté beaucoup fait par projet.
National book, Remember and Return. Mention those as you contact us today. Write to us at Grace to You, Post Office Box 100, St. Martin, Laval, Quebec, H7V3P4. Or use the 24-hour...
And there's Samurai Gamer 538. Here it's a sloper, 22 meter long sloper, which is about 75 feet long.
.org. Now let me remind you that Grace to You is your source for about 3,000 recorded sermons and books by John MacArthur. That includes what has become our flagship resource for new Christians, serious Bible students, and everyone in between.
This is interesting. On 1880, hey, I gotta do that. 1880 is exactly the double of 940. 940 kilohertz is so strong that on 1880 it has its second harmonic. This is amazing. 1880 kilohertz, second harmonic of that station. I'll need to report that to their number that they're sending out. Wow, amazing. And if I put the attenuators, it's not an overload. This means that 940 kilohertz AM actually it does a second harmonic, really strong harmonic in the 160 meter band of shortwave. Well, it's not shortwave, but 160 meter amateur band. Wow. So what's the third harmonic? 940, 1880. And then we'll get 27, 28, 60, something like that, right? Yeah. I even get a third harmonic, not as strong, but on 2860 from that station on 940 kilohertz. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm since they weren't on. I did not try it, and it's pretty amazing when you think they have strong signal overloading everywhere. That's amazing. I'll call the number. They have a number where they want to say if they have interference or stuff. I'm gonna let them know. Wow. Okay. The transmitter site for 940 kilohertz is at least from here, I'd say about 25 kilometers away. And it's on the south shore, just below. It's out on the west side, southwest side of Montreal, about 25, 30 kilometers away. Yes, I do agree it's 50 kilohertz, but I've never had such strong harmonics before. CHU Canada time signal on 3330 kilohertz. Take care, man. Radio DXer. Always nice to have you on board. Next show is next Friday. Oh, really, Danny? Shortwave Radio DX? So these are harmonics. Second and third harmonics, basically.
1 minute, 23 hours, 33 minutes.
viewpoint. Altimeter 3018. Repeating radiation weather. Chicago O'Hare. Special report at 2306 Zulu. Wind 270 at 6.
So let's check out a few frequencies here. Propagation is not as good as it was earlier. So, hey guys, we've been on for 3 hours and 34 minutes. I think we had a nice run tonight. I will be signing off for now. Hope everybody had fun. I will be probably continuing anything happening on 2749. Let's check it out. Upper side band. Nope, nothing here on 2749 right now. So, hey everybody, it was nice to have you on board. It's always cool to have everybody here. Thank you very much for all that, you know, it's so cool. Don't forget, if you want to donate, patreon.com/radio and computers. There's a PayPal email address, which is also available for the PayPal donations, which is my it's a little complicated. Patreon's a little faster, but if you search for it, you'll find a PayPal one. Maybe I should make an easier PayPal for the shortwave stuff. So anyways, thank you so much, everybody. It was really cool to have all of you there. Thanks for everything. Of course, without you guys, there would be no show. You know, the first thing that you need when you're doing live shows is an audience. And I want to thank everybody. So have a great weekend, everybody. No show tomorrow. The next shows for radio, December 2nd, Friday, next Friday. The wideband show at 2000 hours UT. And Saturday, December 3rd, there will be a live show at 2000 hours UTC, also for shortwave. Take care, everybody. Always fun to have all of you here. And hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Hey, Joy of Ligo. Sorry for the late hello, but we are leaving. But nice to say hello from Concord, California. KB6 RDV. And thanks for checking in. Hope you'll be there earlier for our next shows. And take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Always fun to have all of you there.